Welcome to MCG. The Tigers take on the Kangaroos. The reigning premiers are 11th. They're a game and a half outside the 8. Kangaroos have got a better record over the last 10 games than the Tigers. We're about 5 minutes away from game time as I introduce everybody else in the box. And co-caller today is the one and only Jack Heverin.
Brownie, good to see you. Hello, everyone. I'm looking forward to seeing North live. I haven't had the chance to see them live all year. They've been a lot better since round 10, and they have a crack, and David Noble's got them doing some good things. So
he was once described as the best player in the AFL. When he played at Collingwood was Daisy Thomas, and he's here today.
Yeah, it's a nice intro from you, Brownie. Thank you very much for that. I always appreciate a nice pump-up, especially in these tough times. It's good to know that I was once good at something, as now I'm not very good at anything. So it's going to be an interesting afternoon.
Well, at least someone said it about you. I said it about myself for 10 weeks.
Well, that is true. And we thank Ross Lyon, of course, a real pundit of the game. Interesting one, this one. Only probably 2 months ago, you would have looked at this one on paper and said the Tigs by how far. The recent form of the North Melbourne Footy Club's been fantastic. And we all know that the Tigers, although they're playing bad, there's still a chance to make the 8. So it makes for an interesting afternoon and one I'm looking very much forward to.
We're here for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks Footy, Ethan Meldrum with the Triple M Red Z lending stats all day.
Yeah, as you were saying, Brownie, North Melbourne's form over the last 6 weeks in particular have been really good. If you did a ladder over that period of time, North Melbourne would be 9th, Richmond 17th. Richmond, they've won 3 of their past 4 against North Melbourne. On the other hand, Trent Cotchin, those 4 games, averaged 32 disposals per game. North Melbourne, their first game at the MCG since round 3, 2019. That's the longest drought of any team in the league. And Nick Larkey, since the bye, 23 goals, number 1 in the competition.
Really good form for Nick Larkey. Bob Jane Team Marts, buy 3, get 1 free. Instant cash back on Bridgestone, Continental, Pirelli, and many more. bobjane.com.au. Sarah Ollie is on the boundary with us today. Ins, outs. Who's on the bench, Sarah?
Yeah, we do have a late change, Brownie. It's Thompson Dow. He's coming in for Camden McIntosh. We know he's been carrying that hamstring issue, so perhaps no surprises there. And the subs, well, it's Will Phillips, the number 3 draft pick for North Melbourne, and Jason Castagna for the Tigers. So a bit of a soft axing for the premiership forward.
This is the footy. This is Triple M Footy Preview. Ask your plumber to install a room steady, hot and strong. Daisy, Richmond, they've dropped off the map a little bit this year. They had a really good win against the Brisbane Lions a few weeks back, but this is a danger game for them. I look at this game thinking this is a massive opportunity for the Kangaroos to put another win on the board.
Yeah, it certainly is, and I think the Kangaroos will be certainly bullish about how they can go about it because it's the speed of ball movement that's really caused the Tigers some dramas of late. Collingwood only a few weeks ago got on top in that department, and the Kangaroos, that's been their one wood when they've got it going. Their ability to control the footy in the back half, get Zeeble back there, find a mark. Also, Hall's been fantastic down there. They relieve that pressure, but off that, they look through the corridor. They're bold with their ball movement, and on the back of that, they're getting some really good looks going forward. We speak about the turnaround in not only their form, but also the form of Larkey as well. So he's someone who certainly benefited from that style of ball movement coming in there really quick.
This is a Triple M Footy Preview. You can now stream every game of Triple M Footy live on the Listener app. Download it now. Listen up, LISTNR, not far away from getting this one underway. North Melbourne are going to go to the right of your dial, which is the city end, and the Tigers down to the punt road. And Triple M Red Z lending stats. Is there anything else that we can have a look around this game and maybe have a look at North Melbourne and how they could win this?
Well, as Daisy was saying, it's North Melbourne's speed of ball movement since the bye, number 2 in the league for scores from turnovers. We know that's been Richmond's one wood for so long, but it's actually North Melbourne that's been showing them up in that period of time.
Daisy was very happy with himself there. So
ridiculous.
When you said that, as Daisy said,
just a little fist bump
back. We spoke to your mate before, only a couple of minutes away, but we spoke to your mate Heath Shaw last night, and we asked him who's the funny guy on the Heater and Daisy show, and he clearly said that he's the funny guy and that you are the host who gets him in and out of the funny bits, and he wasn't rating your sense of humour.
No, that's probably fair enough. I sort of lead him into him and set them up for him. You know, he's a simple man and he doesn't have the capabilities to host anything. So his ability to me to explain a joke for him and then him to execute it maybe 5-6 times out of 100 is pretty good. And we've got a few laughs along the way. So I'm not taking all the credit for his humour, but most of it.
Are you hoping to become the next Hamish and Andy? Like, he's the Hamish and you're the Andy, obviously.
If we could get to somewhere around there, that'd be fantastic. I'm not sure if Heater and just his wants to keep continuing to take this to the next level is there, but we are having a hell of a lot of fun along the way, so fingers crossed. Tune in, of course, on the 7 Plus app. That's every Monday night.
That was a shortened footy preview for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M Rocks Footy. Here's Jack Heverin.
Thank you, Brownie. As we're away in the middle, Cotchin over the footy to start with for Richmond. Quick hands to Prestia. Still inside the centre square. He misses his target. Follows up. Bolton fresh off a contract, re-signing during the week. His handball stolen by McDonald. And then Simpkin hacks it to half forward. Floston's there for the Tigers, and they can set it up, and they want the corridor straight away.
It's a big sweeper into the middle of the ground. Presti is there, tried to kick it off the ground, did. I think there was a massive big falcon in the middle there as Davies Uniacke copped it, but when he got back and he got the football. Inside forward 50 they go. Larkey with a big lead, fisted away by Grimes, did a really good job. Rioli's been good since going to half back. That's a sloppy handball out wide though. He sets a task for Baker. Baker was okay. Zeeble, ball out of bounds on the half forward line for the Kangaroos.
Harvey Norman replay there. Luke Davies-Uniacke, a huge falcon off the deck there, right at the bonce, and just took it, stood there and said, more of that please, got up, got the ball. It was a nice kick inside forward 50 to Larkey as well.
It's really not what you need in the first 2 minutes of the game. Thrown in, outer side wing, Nankervis slaps it back towards the boundary line. Hall can't keep it in. It's out of play.
Stay there, Jamie.
Just having a look at Aaron Hall, Daisy, on the Triple M Harvey Norman replay. Is he gone with cornrows this week?
Yeah, he's done that a few times. It's an interesting setup. I do like it, though. A little bit of flair out there.
Looks like your man the answer.
Yes.
So still on the wing. Give that tap to Goldstein. Davies-Uniacke tried to fight off the Dow tackle. Got a boot on it. Worked out okay. Now Turner looks to the outer side wing. Anderson couldn't mark. Tried to keep Baker away from it, but stood up in the tackle. And then got a handball away. Bolton darting through, has got men in board. He misses Cochin by hand. And there's Hall to try and create the turnover for North Melbourne. Stevenson missed initially by Taylor. Has to go back and win it. Now McDonald works together with Hall. He handballs to Larkey, who's on the run, 55 metres out. He punches it low. And a mark by Zerha, top of the goal square, runs it in for the first of the game. The Kangaroos get the corridor, and they get the first on the Triple M IGA Liquor scoreboard. 1 straight 6 to Richmond yet to score. 2 minutes in, Days.
Yeah, interesting start from both teams. Both teams just at all costs trying to feed it back through the corridor. There was a couple of turnovers there, an errant handball from Shea Bolton from the Tigers as they looked like they were out. Then the North Melbourne Footy Club, good enough to get the turnover on the back of that. A good chain of handballs into the man who's in form, a real barometer for this footy club, Zerha, and on Vlostone, too big, too strong. Absolutely disposed of him at the top of the goal square. A really nice passage of play. That's the speed of ball movement we're talking about. Both times they've gone inside 50. It's getting good looks out the back of that Richmond defence.
Good use of the body on the Triple M Harvey Norman replay. Harvey Norman, your leaders in technology with a huge range of laptops to suit any budget. Shop online with contactless, click and collect available. Good people at Harvey Norman. First goal to the Kangaroos, Zerha. It's goal number 25 for the year. Bounce in the middle. McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy. Ball jars free. Out towards the wing. They go forward. The Kangaroos again. Bouncing ball. Good use of the body by the Tigers at the ground level there. Short. Missed the handball, but he had Cochin there to butter him up, and he got the ball out to Edwards. Edwards on the boundary. Tries to screw back a left footer. Tried to get a little bit too much and went straight back to Goldstein, who laterals it to Tarrant at half back. Got a couple of runners around the back, and Tarrant has got a short ball, and he finds Simpkin.
So holds it up, Jai Simpkin. Runner up in last year's best and fairest. You'd have to think he'd be an enormous chance to win it this year. Inboard to Stevenson on the 45, and again North look to play direct footy. Turner, just as I say that though, wants to go wide. Links up with Walker. 4 minutes gone. Kangaroos 1 straight 6. Tigers yet to score. Triple M IGA Liquor scoreboard. Walker heads towards the boundary line and has Aaron Hall.
Stand.
He's working hard to get his hands on the footy early. Wants to go quickly. Kept it low to half forward. Tough task for Ford, who couldn't gather. Taylor around there as well. Stack picks it up cleanly, and the Tigers find a way out.
Haven't been forward yet, the Tigers. They look for Lynch on centre wing. Fisted away from him at ground level. Picking the footy up and going backwards was Mansell. High ball down towards half forward, ill-directed, and Tarrant takes his second easy mark. Short ball finds Zeeble. Play on. You heard the umpire call it. He goes with a short one, and the Kangaroos like to do this, Daisy. They wait for opportunities to present themselves from half back, and then they go fast, and on this occasion they have to go slow.
Yeah, they certainly do. They try and spread the ground, obviously, in the fattest part, just beyond those arcs of the 50, and it's not generally to switch the ball. They're trying to get you so you do create some holes yourselves in sliding and shifting that defence, and they plug it back through the corridor when you do fall asleep.
Zeeble to Tarrant. He looked for McDonald. He was under pressure, but they did it okay. Towards centre wing, a bouncing ball. Trying to pick it up out there was Taylor, and he had Rioli behind him. And Rioli's looked okay since going to half-back. It's a hard position to play half-forward, but most failed forwards go to half-back and do okay.
Yeah, they certainly do, and he's got all the attributes. He's got speed, he makes good decisions, and he uses it well, which is very handy, and he's seeing the game really good and getting some good opportunity.
Kangaroos in front by a goal. Bolton chips. A good mark taken by Parker. At left half forward, he lands on his feet and goes quickly. He's kicked inside 50, though not good. Zeeble got into the hole for the Kangaroos. Now he changes direction. Heads out wide. And again, North. Chip. Tarrant. Inside defensive 50.
It's me. Yep.
Goes to the back pocket to Hall. What are his Reds Eds early on, D?
Aaron Hall, Reds Ed Lenning, already the 3 disposals.
For the best part of 4 years, this has been Richmond's one-wood when sides chip the footy around and they get it back more often than not, but they just don't have that defensive pressure at the moment as an easy ball gets to centre wing and McDonald. He's a big kick of the footy. This one he goes into the middle of the ground and he finds Tarrant Thomas. Talented player, as we know, has to hold it up though. Richmond, every player ahead, and Tarrant's stacking them up for Reds Ed Lenning at the moment, Ethan.
Yeah, Robbie Tarrant, Reds Ed Lenning stats. That's disposal number 5.
50 metres in the middle of the ground, and Jaden Stevenson will go all the way to 30 metres. I think it was against Jaden Short, who just crept over the mark. And this for back-to-back goals for the Kangaroos.
Yeah, I think it was paid because he wasn't in the marking contest, clearly came over the mark. Uncontested marks in the quarter if you can, Ethan, because it looks like at the minute there's no pressure from the Tigs and North Melbourne doing whatever they want out of the back half.
Pretty one-sided, 21-1 North Melbourne's way.
That 50 is every bit 41-42. Jaden Stevenson will kick from 48. The 50 started in the centre square. Goes to the left, comes back, hits the post, through for one behind. The Kangaroos all attacking early, 1-1-7. The Tigers yet to score. Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard, proudly local, proudly independent.
So they're doing a pretty good job at the moment, Days North Melbourne, of keeping the footy out of Richmond's hands.
Yeah, they are. They're making the ground really big. So the Tigers' strength, as we spoke about, is being able to zone off and not allow you to do that. But at the minute, too many blokes guarding blokes who are irrelevant. So when you play a team defence, you almost have to have everyone in that 50-metre bubble where you can kick it. They've got blokes defending people who are 70, 75 metres away, which stretches the ground, provides holes of space for North Melbourne.
For Bob Jane Team Arts, Sarah Ollie.
Yes, a Richmond player with a very famous name is debuting today, Morris Rioli Jr. He started on the Pine. He's just warming up, so he'll be on shortly.
Son of Morris Senior, a legend of the Richmond Footy Club, 2-time best and fairest winner. And Tarrant Thomas, 70 metres out from goal. He's going to kick to a heavily populated 50. Again, try to keep it pretty low and keep Richmond's defenders out of it. Prestia gathers the loose ball and kicks it out of defence, back out in the direction of Thomas. He took the Bolton tackle and did really well. Got it free to Hall.
Hall into the middle, looks for Goldstein, went through his fingers, enough time to get it back, and the feed off to Simpkin, 40 out. Well done, Simpkin. Lowered the eyes and got it to the lead of Larkey. That was impressive play.
Yeah, it certainly was. Just the ability at the last minute, saw the lead coming out the corner of his eyes. Harvey Norman replay. Just pulled the kick and absolutely laced out Larkey. Really good start from the Kangaroos, and this is the scoreboard pressure. These are the ones they need to kick. Try and put some doubt in the Tigs' mind early.
Kicked 36 goals so far this year. Breakout year for Larkey. Been a focal point for him. 48 directly in front. Good kick of the footy, and he squeezed it through for the Kangaroos. So early stages, Kangaroos doing well. 2-1-13. The Tigers yet to score. Triple M. IJ Liquor scoreboard.
Yeah, Reds Ed Lenning stats. The numbers all one-sided North Melbourne's way. 51 disposals to 23. As you were saying earlier, Daisy, 23 marks to 1. North Melbourne going at 79% by foot. Richmond, on the other hand, just going at 38%. Both of those goals, as you flagged earlier, pre-game, Daisy, both of those goals for North Melbourne coming from turnover so far.
Yeah, they've been really impressive. And conversely, the Tigers, they had a really good look going inside 50. Matty Parker took a really nice contested mark just in front of us. He wheeled and went, which was good play because he kept the speed in the ball, but both of his forwards, Rewalt and Lynch, had their backs to him leading back, trying to create the space, just missing that little bit of connection, the Tigers, that they've been so good at for so long.
All North Melbourne early on for McDonald's and Ream Hotwater. Triple M Rocks footy. Still to come tonight, the showdown. And also Sydney and St Kilda, depending on where you're listening, is what you'll be getting tonight. Thomas dashes through the middle of the MCG, looks inboard with a clever kick. He could have blazed away. He would have been within his rights to go for home. But instead, Pops it short to Jai Simpkin.
Yeah, he's had an unbelievable... He's been a real breakout player, as we've spoken about a lot for North Melbourne, and that's where their growth's come from. Blokes like him, of course. Simpkin's been fantastic, trying hard all year, but the ability then to think really slow whilst he was going fast is the key to that play. Pulled the kick, would have been well within his rights to blaze away.
Only 2 goals for the season. He'll kick from just inside 50, directly in front. Didn't get all of it, and pushes it off to the right. Kangaroos 2-2. Richmond still yet to score. Triple M IGA Liquor scoreboard. IGA Liquor, proudly local, proudly independent.
What was impressive by Simpkin, he gave the handball to Thomas and then ran on. He just split the pack and kept going forward as the Tigers bring it back into Cochin, 32 last week. Got it out to Graham to half forward, looking for Parker. Park has to sit underneath it, and Feathers Walker gets it out of bounds. We'll have a boundary throw in on the half forward line for the Tigers. 14-point lead. What are the numbers early telling us? Triple M Red Z lending, loans for the self-employed.
Well, North Melbourne just controlling the footy by foot. 28 effective kicks so far to Richmond, just the 5.
Lowered their eyes well. So far, the Kangaroos. Boundary throw in. Goldstein won it clearly. Trying to get it down to Anderson. Couldn't take it with him. Taron Thomas never looks like he's sweating at all. Just does it easy. Got the ball out. Smothered off the boot. Cochin picked it up. Right foot down to the half forward line. Tried to get it to Bolton. 1-2. Went back and got it. Bolton with a sweeping handball. Missed the target. Still had players around the footy though. Went to get back it. Edwards ran over the footy, short with an opportunity. Graham will dump it back inside forward 50, but Kangaroos everywhere. Can't mark it. Opportunity still. Here's Rioli. Paddles the ball out. Taylor got in his way. Taylor did well. The Kangaroos should relieve.
And they'll want to play that out of side. Walker will need to be quick. His kick came off the side of the boot. Not a good one. Graham stole it away. Now gave a handball to Baker. 55 metres out. Didn't blaze away. Looks with the shortest option and finds Kane Lambert.
Well, just a really poor turnover there from Walker.
Lambert goes into the pocket. Some loose checking by the Kangaroos, and now it's Matt Parker.
Yeah, it is. They look like they were out, the Kangaroos. They've done a really good job to absorb that Richmond pressure, and Walker was the man who needed to find a target. Just hell-bent on getting it back through the corridor. He went with the outside of the boot. Little lair-rising one, and sometimes you just got to play within your skill set, and that certainly isn't in his skill set.
His 4th game as a Tiger. Previously with the Saints. He misses as well to the near side. Tigers' first score coming up to 13 minutes gone in the opening quarter. Triple M IGA Liquor scoreboard. They're 1 behind. The Kangas 2-2-14 for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy.
Impressive amount of ink on Parker. You know they're committed when they go up the neck. That is a lot of ink, and he's playing some pretty good footy for the Tigers. Free kick will go to the Tigers. Advantage paid. Cochin inside forward 50, and the mark taken by Bolton. 45 out, 45 degree angle, and the Tigers need a goal. He's going to get off the short. He is short, has to dart around. He went to the wrong side. Eventually got the long ball to the goal square, and it's going to be a rush behind. That wasn't the best option to give it back to short on the left foot. Had to dart back onto the right.
Yeah, a bad decision to give it, but also a bad running pattern to call for it by short. Know your capabilities. Know that if you had got it off one step on your right foot, you would have had the distance easily.
Bob Jane T-Mart, Sarah Ollie.
Luke McDonald's got a bit of an issue with his right hand. He's shaking it out and bending it backwards, and he's been talking to a trainer, so I'll keep my eye on that one.
Richmond back in possession from the kick-in. 55 metres out, Thompson Dow. There's the late inclusion for Jack Ross. Goes to right half forward. Mansell. Chips over the top. Barely the 15 to Baker. He's 55 out from goal. Tigers kicking to the punt road end in the opening quarter. Baker hugs the boundary line with the kick. Bolton had plenty of it. That's off his hands and the hands of Goldstein, and out of bounds for a throw in.
Pretty poor entry there from Baker. Long to Bolton v Goldstein in the pocket. Only option was to be outmarked or fisted across the line. We'd rather see that hit the hot spot, give Lynch and Rewald a chance.
Daisy with all the Triple M Seabus super special comments. Thrown in 30 metres around from goal. Dow picked it up, handballed into the pocket. Now Bolton trying to be creative. Works back together with Graham, who sets it up to the top of the top spot. Try that again, the hot spot. Lynch is taken out. Bodies down everywhere. North Melbourne take the advantage through McDonald.
McDonald is centre half back. Wants to move and go now. He's got a couple of players. Hall just racking them up at the moment. Triple M Red Z lenders.
Aaron Hall, 8 disposals, most on the ground.
Having a wonderful year. Would be putting himself in All-Australian contention the way he's playing. Short ball finds McDonald. On centre wing. Wants to go into the middle. This is the dangerous kick, but he got it over the top. Off towards The run and carry from Stevenson. He was almost run down and affected the kick, so the Tigers will win the footy back through short. He chips one to centre half back. Graham's got some runners. On the outside, he goes lateral. Tigers with space. Bolton darts back. He's leading towards half forward, but wasn't going to. Now the ball has to go back, and the Tigers just fiddling around with it at the moment.
They took their time. They should be okay now. Prestia. Handball's out wide to Baker. Looks for the little kick over the top to Floston.
Stand.
Back into the team today. Missed the last 4 with a knee issue. North Melbourne by 12 points. Triple M IGA Liquor scoreboard. Coming up to 16 minutes gone in the opening quarter.
Stand.
They maintain possession.
Stand.
Daniel Rioli. Right on the Toyota logo.
Move it on. Play on.
All but 2 players in the front half of the ground now. So Rioli will have to kick to a contest. Taylor stands underneath it for North Melbourne. Didn't mark. Roving front and centre. Graham 45 metres out. Tried to bounce it home. He doesn't get it home in the end. Richmond keep it in through Parker. Screws it back inside. Taron Thomas read the kick better and marks for the Kangaroos.
Taron Thomas, short ball, and he finds Davies Uniacke at half back.
Stay out, Luke. Stand.
This has to go back over the mark now. So Richmond have defended well this first quarter. They held up the Kangaroos, but the Kangaroos lead by 12 points. Davies Uniacke, a high ball. Larkey sets himself. From the back goes Grimes over the boundary line and out of bounds on centre wing. Coming on the ground is Hugo Ralph Smith. What a name that is. I'd imagine he'd be wearing Ralph Lauren polo tops. Yeah. I don't go with him on that.
Or Hugo Boss.
Yep.
Very good.
Both.
Just interesting. I see on the Harvey Norman replay, Josh Walker in a bit of strife down there. Sarah Ollie, has he gone down the rooms?
Yeah, he's just gone down the race then, Daisy. He came off second best in that big marking contest in Richmond's forward 50, so potentially having a concussion test.
Bob Jane Team Arts. Buy 3, get 1 free and instant cash back on Bridgestone, Continental, Pirelli and many more. BobJaneTeamArt.com.au. Didn't exactly go with you then, Days, did he, Brownie?
Gave me bugger all.
Absolutely stuff all.
Well, just because your name is something doesn't mean you wear it. My last name isn't Adidas, but I sport a lot of it.
I find anyone with a hyphen normally wears Ralph Lauren.
Really?
Last name's Brown and you're wearing grey.
Doesn't make sense for the viewers, did it?
Make a lot of sense in hindsight, does it? Here's Asprey. In follow-up, handballs to Mansell. Kicks from a standing start. Into the forward pocket. Back with courage, Tarrant. Took a fantastic grab in the pack, and he's got up a little sore as well.
Please stand.
Intercept marks for the quarter for North Melbourne, please. Red Z lending style, Ethan.
Intercept marks 5-2 North Melbourne's way. Robbie Tarrant leading the way with 2 of those.
That was a lead by Tarrant. Long ball outside defensive 50. Down to ground level. Cherry, quick handball. Now to centre wing. 1-on-1. And a good mark taken on his chest. There was no contest in the end, and Nick Vlostone plays on. Low darting ball. Looking for Parker. Might have got pushed in the back. The umpire said play on. Hall get another stat. Can he get the ball out? He can't. He was tackled. Ball jarred free. Cochin just absolutely barreled by Zeeble. Did really well. And Davies Uniacke gets the footy and they're away.
Here's Dumont. He could have had the corridor, but Richmond had their extra back, so looks out wide at Taron Thomas. He's got Goldstein working hard and he runs to receive. Tucked in the forward pocket. He kept it low coming in. It's not a good kick for Larkey. And Floston intercepts for the Tigers. North Melbourne 2-2-14. Richmond 2 behinds. Triple M IGA Liquor scoreboard. 19 minutes gone, opening quarter.
Tigers with the run from Grimes. Ran into a bit of trouble and then handball to a ruckman standing still. You never do that. Opportunity for the Kangaroos to win the footy back. They do now. Davies Uniacke stepped in and out of trouble. Wants to feed it back to Zeeble. All the way back to Hall on centre wing. He's got a player out on the half forward line and that's Cherry. Marks on his chest. Wants to move it quickly. It's big Tommy Campbell. Campbell, right foot, inside forward 50, looking for Larkey to the front. Can't mark it, over the back. Kangaroos through Thomas, got the handball out. But now the Tigers with the numbers will pick it up through short. They've got the handball out to Nankervis. He'll pick it up just inside the boundary.
And with his kick, it's a good one. Has Cochin. Daisy, what are Richmond doing better in the last 10 minutes? They're not getting it on the scoreboard, but they have slowed North Melbourne down a bit.
Yeah, they've been able to get their hands on the footy. That's been the key. And when they have got it, they've been patient with it. We've seen them chip the ball around. So they haven't been going fast and giving the ball back to North Melbourne like they did a lot in that first half of this first term.
Free kick goes against Richmond there for a shepherd on Ralph Smith. So North Melbourne start to stream forward. Anderson spots Marnie at right half forward. He could have gone himself, and again, they lower their eyes. They've done that really well in the opening quarter.
It's been the highlight, hasn't it?
He's got Bailey Scott 40 metres out.
Yeah, well, this has been the difference in the quarter so far, their ability to take marks inside forward 50, connecting. The Tigers are giving up that spot about 30 to 50 metres out far too easily. That's the spot the midfielders need to get back and fill, but a lot of it's coming off turnover, so the midfielders are the ones that can't get back because they're the ones making the play and turning it over.
26 and 20 disposals in the last 2 weeks. Has been getting a bit more midfield time. Starts as a forward tonight and is on the scoreboard. North Melbourne continue to control this opening quarter. They're 3-2-20. Richmond, 2 behinds, nearly 21 minutes gone. Triple M IGA Liquor scoreboard. IGA Liquor, proudly local, proudly independent.
Just complete dominance, I'd imagine, on the stats so far too, Heath.
Yeah, North Melbourne's way so far. 38 marks at 24, 11 inside 50s to 8. Still going at 73% by foot, North Melbourne, and the 5 marks already inside 50. All of North Melbourne's 3 goals, as we were saying pre-game, already from turnover as well.
So they've certainly got the game at their terms at the minute and making the most of it. Harvey Norman replay, he got very close to the man on the mark there, did Bailey Scott, but good enough to bring it back. Not sure if there's any breeze down there. It looks like a pretty still day. The flags are pretty still, but the ball swung back nicely for him, so he'll be happy with that.
No breeze at all. The Mac family's arrived at Macca's. Get a free limited edition glass with every medium or large Mac family meal. Daisy Thomas on the Seabus Super is doing a cracking job delivering consistent long-term return for members. Seabus, for all of us. McDonald's and Remont Water, Triple M Rocks footy. The Kangaroos out of the middle again. Inside forward 50, low darting ball. That's a beauty too. Gets the on the chest of Ford, who goes inside forward 50, lowered the eyes again, which has been really good, but on this occasion kicks it straight back to the Tigers, and Meatball Prestia marked it on his chest comfortably. Prestia called to play on. He'll look for Coleman Jones, one-on-one, fisted away by Taron Thomas, and then laid the tackle. Picking the footy up was Ford, did a good job. Got a really good step, Simpkin. Did it on that occasion, then went back inside forward 50. They've missed Lostone, who got his hand to that one, and at half-back, they look for Lambert.
And he's got to fight off 3 Kangaroos. Did okay. Works together with Baker, who needs to be quick. He had Zeeble bearing down, and just that pressure from Jack Zeeble was enough to affect the kick, and he's turned it over. Marked by Turner, broadcast wing. He looks for the little kick again. North Melbourne maintain possession. Dumont happy to take his time. That's not 15. Simpkins got some work ahead of him, dodges a couple of tackles. There's that step that Brownie was talking about. Kicks
One
back
of the
to
best in the
McDonald.
AFL, I think, that one.
McDonald runs around, loads up on his left foot. Long searching kick to a 2-on-1. Mansell didn't kill the footy. Ford searching hard for it, dispossessed. Stevenson snaps quickly. Through for a minor score. 3-3-21 the Kangas. Richmond, 2 behinds. Triple M IGA Liquor scoreboard. 23 minutes gone.
It's a good second effort by Mansell. His freckle would have tightened right up after he missed that easy mark, and they're running into an open goal, but did a good job to get back and save the day, Daisy.
Near on puckering, I would have imagined, Brownie.
So the ball on the outer side. The Tigers yet to kick a goal. They go back to Prestia. Was good last week. Fisted away by Lynch in front of Mackay, and the ball goes out of bounds on the outer side, the great southern stand side, that is. And a boundary throw in.
There's tolls for Richmond. How have they gone in this quarter, please, Ethan? We just see Lynch there. Doesn't seem to have had a lot of it, neither just Revolt.
No, Lynch statless, Revolt statless, and Coleman Jones statless all so far.
So the umpire spins the yellow Sharon back into play. Davies Uniac to Hall, just sitting off the pack on centre wing. Goes a bounce. Hall inside forward 50. Big long kick. Stevenson one-on-one. Did a really good job, but then there was 2-on-1 and the Tigers got back with numbers. One of those was Lostone and threw for a rush behind. Had a little bit of time on my hands during the week and did my redhead team of the century. Had Lostone in the back pocket. Very good player.
Very, very good player. Who would have been captain?
I had Michael Voss as captain.
Did he sure feature?
Oh, I didn't have him as a redhead. No, sort of a brownie.
You're kidding, aren't you?
Redhead and freckles everywhere.
Yeah, well, it's a bit of a...
No, I will inform him that he didn't make it on form.
Jeez. Most redheads would love that if they didn't make the team. Campbell drops the mark at half forward. Marnie, 55 out, did well. Got it to Anderson. Kicks from a standing start. It should be all Richmond. They get the ball to ground and Baker can assess his options. Eyes darting around. Plays the commentary side and puts it out in front of Ralph Smith.
but he can't go anywhere. He had space and he had room to move, but now he has to wait for the cavalry to run from behind him, and Jack Graham's one of those players. He's an enormous runner looking for Rewalt. Can't mark it. Well done by Hall. Zeeble got involved. The ball popped out to Simpkin. Look at that step again. Got it to Dumont, but Ralph Smith come in it really well inside forward 50. Looking for and finding Rewalt. That was well done by the hyphen. And Rewalt will kick from 50, 45-degree angle.
Yeah, really well done. Good second and third effort. Caused a turnover himself, and then again the ability, we've spoken a lot about it from North, just to pull the kick at the last minute. Rewalt heading back towards goal. Good forward craft, engaged his opponent in Tarrant, pushed off, came back into the space.
Oh, I didn't count your redheads like Heath Shaw. Maybe even you could mount a case for this man, Jack Rewalt. I'm talking your real reds, your Cameron Lings, your Tony Delaney's, these sort of guys. As Rewalt misses this one through for one behind.
Mitch Robertson.
Mitchy Robinson was in there, definitely.
Straubs O'Dwyer.
Jason Ackermanis. Dustin Fletcher was in there. 3-4-22 Kangaroos. 3 behind the Tigers, 19-point margin. Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard. Gary Moorcroft.
Oh, certainly. Little forward pocket roll.
Yep.
Outside 5.
It's a subject very close to my heart, that one, Brownie.
John Ironmonger. So that's quarter time in the MCG, and the Kangaroos lead the Tigers by 19 points, 3-4-22. The Tigers are 3 behind. So McDonald's Ream Hot Water, Triple M, Rocks Footy.
That quarter for IGA Liquor. Proudly local, proudly independent.
For Macca's 50th birthday,
Triple M rocks footy.
the Mac family has arrived at Macca's. Get a free limited edition glass with every medium or large Mac family
Hi,
meal.
it's Marty Sheargold from Triple M's Marty Sheargold Show, and right now, Triple M rocks football, and I'm back Monday morning from 6.
I'm a Carlton fan, so Chris Judd is king.
Oh,
But, you know,
you don't think of him as a West Coast guy?
no.
I wonder what he thinks of himself as. Probably where he won the flag.
He played 9 more games for Carlton than West Coast.
So he's a Carlton guy.
Triple M's Marty Sheargold Show. Weekdays from 6. Or hear it anytime on the new Listener app.
To celebrate 50 years of Macca's, we're introducing the Mac family. And with every medium or large Mac Junior, Big Mac or Grand Big Mac meal, you'll get one of 6 free Macca's glasses, but only for a limited time. Available after 10:30am while stocks last.
Have you got a dream renovation, a dream man cave?
Robot's got it.
Robot Building Supplies can help you get the job done. Robot's been servicing the building, fencing, engineering, roofing and cabinet making industries for over 70 years now. So when it comes to experience and reliability,
Robot's got it.
with 24-hour delivery, dream one day, build the next. Robot Building Supplies. Notting Hill, Sunshine, Preston, Dramana, Pakenham, Coldstream and Darnham. robotbuildingsupplies.com.au.
ROBOT, Robot Building Supplies.
Are you a qualified electrician or gas fitter looking for an opportunity to get your career cooking? Right now, the Oven Repairman is looking to add to its growing team of qualified technicians. Step out of the cold and work indoors. Enjoy work-life balance with no weekend work, your own vehicle, great pay, full training and a team to support you. Time to step into a new career and a new lifestyle. Google the Oven Repairman.
Who can get you cooking again? The Oven Repairman can.
G'day, Howie here. In the latest episode of the Howie Games podcast, I sit down one-on-one with Majak Daw, a man with a truly incredible story to tell. We all know Majak from his high-flying heroics on the footy field. In this conversation, we explore a life that extends far beyond the game of AFL. From being forced to flee his homeland of Sudan to Madge's mental health battles, this is a story equal parts heartbreaking and uplifting. Majak Daw on the Howie Games. Download the Listener app now and listen for free.
Listener. During COVID restrictions, things can change quickly. And that's why we've prepared a range of ways to help you or your business during these uncertain times. Our Benefits Finder in the CommBank app finds benefits and concessions you and your business may be eligible for. And we're offering a range of solutions to support business customers with their mental health and well-being. For support today and tomorrow, search CommBank COVID.
For the 5th consecutive year, the dynamic Volvo XC60 is Drive Car of the Year 2021, Best Medium Luxury SUV. Judge for yourself and visit your local Volvo dealer today. Volvo.
When you're building a roof, you're best to go with Stramit. When you're Stramit roof sheets, you're best to use Build-X screws. They're a winning combination. Stramit roofing products are built strong for all Aussie conditions. But a roof is only as good as the screws that keep everything together. That's why only Buildex screws will do. They're the best roofs in Australia. So order Buildex and start fastening your Stramit roofing products today.
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for Beacon Trade. Supporting Sparkies with 7:30am opening hours, trade prices, click and collect and free delivery from over 100 Beacon lighting stores.
Quarter time at the MCG. The Kangaroos doing it nicely. 19 points ahead of the Tigers, 3-3-21. The Tigers are 3 behind for McDonald's Marine Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy. As we get into the back row, Ethan Meldrum, Triple M Red Z lending stats. How did the Kangaroos construct that lead?
Well, it was all North Melbourne's control of the footy. 45 marks in that first term, went at 73% by foot. That's the most marks Richmond's conceded to quarter time in a game this season. All 3 of their goals from turnover as well. So as you were saying pre-game, Daisy, that's North Melbourne's one wood since the bye. That's what they've been doing well again. Jai Simpkin, number 1 ranked player on the ground, 11 disposals. Anderson and Hall, 10 apiece. And for the Tigers, Baker and Graham, 9 apiece.
Yeah, I think the frustrating thing for Dimmer would be don't be beaten by what you know, and we've all spoken about what North Melbourne were going to do. Just at the minute, they're doing it too well that the Tigers can't combat it at all. And when they have had some looks inside forward 50, they've been long, high, horrible bomb balls that give the forwards no chance. We spoke about the lack of impact from the 3 tools down there for the Tigers, and that's not from lack of work rate or effort. It's just lack of quality footy coming in. And up the other end, well, North Melbourne, when they're going inside 50, their ability to lower their eyes, work their way through it, think their way through it, and pick the right option has been fantastic.
That was the highlight of the first quarter, wasn't it? The 3 goals the Kangaroos got were all from them lowering their eyes, not blazing away. At the start of the year, probably the first 10 games, that was how bad they were. They turned the footy over, they butchered it, but as the season's gone on, they've got confidence, and with that confidence, their skill level has improved.
Yeah, absolutely, and just the ability of the players to make those right decisions under pressure, and you're well within your rights from 50, break the paint, have a go at goal, but their ability to choose the right option at the right time, a couple of times it wasn't on, so they did look for the longer targets, but the speed of ball movement is what's killing the Tigers, or what did in that first term.
Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard sees the Kangaroos by 19 points, supporting Sparkies with 7:30am opening hours, trade prices, click and collect and free delivery from over 100 Beacon lighting stores. That is the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. Here's Jack Heverin on Triple M Footy.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy. The Kangaroos start the second quarter the way that they operated in the first quarter by winning the centre clearance. Simpkin look for Larkey. It's off his hands. Stevenson, who's ditched the long sleeve, misses the target by hand. Cochin starts to set things up for Richmond off half-back. Short, running hard to receive. He's got Marnie bearing down, so had to kick on the left foot. Tumbly ball to half-forward. And Richmond can stream forward. Thompson Dow searches for Coleman Jones, who was taken out. It'll be a Tigers free kick. Triple M Harvey Norman replay will tell the story, Days, but it'll be Coleman Jones.
Straight out, mate.
30 metres out.
Yeah, it was certainly there. It was the first time we've seen Richmond get a decent one-on-one inside 50, and Mackay was there, had to reach around. It was a good kick to advantage, the big man.
Wait for the call, Ben.
Good enough to get the job done.
Thank you.
He's been out of the team since round 16 with a calf issue.
15 gone. 15 gone.
He's going to kick around the corner to kick the Tigers first. He's got it. The Tigers start the second quarter well. They're 1-3-9. The Kangaroos 3-4-22, a minute gone, second quarter. Let's get boundary side for Bob Jane Team Arts with Sarah Ollie.
Yes, Jack. So North Melbourne have confirmed that Josh Walker, he is right to go. He has passed that concussion test. And that was probably his opponent that just kicked the goal, so he'll be wanting to get back on the field.
It's a talent, isn't he, Coleman Jones?
Yeah, he's a big type. He's very lanky, very rangy, but also moves really well, as we see a lot of the blokes who were 195, 200 plus range. Makes it very, very tough there, and Mackay had no option but to give away the free kick because those jukes were extending and he couldn't get there.
The Tigers with the first one of the second term. That's their first of the day. Through Coleman Jones, 13-point margin in favour of the Kangaroos. Empty MCG. It's a bit of an eerie feeling, but footy being played is good. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M. Rocks footy, bounce in the middle. Nankervis up against Goldstein. 2 Warriors at it. Nankervis won that one clearly, but then it fell in the arms of Goldstein. You got it back to Taron Thomas, who always seems to have time. A man who rolls like a Royce out towards Hall. Chips the ball high. Goldstein had to go back with courage. Stevenson needed to pick it up. Then he dropped it, went back, got it to Simpkin. Simpkin, right foot out of the body, got it towards the run of Taylor. Taylor, can he settle and get the footy back to a teammate? He can. Larkey handballed it wildly. Rioli opportunity. Dan Curvis got in there. Ball bobbling around inside forward 50 for the Kangaroos, and now a big pack of players. And the umpire balls it up 30 metres out.
Let him up. Thank you.
Just the one handball too many, Dace?
Yeah, just the first time we've seen them a little bit rushed and just miss one skill and then put that player under pressure and referred the pressure to the next teammate.
Good tap down by Goldstein for Zerha, but he's tackled immediately. He was through otherwise.
Thanks, Nick.
Nick Floston laying a tackle. Daisy with the Triple MC Bus super special comments. Thrown up 20 metres out from goal. Goldstein got it down to Taylor. Grimes pinched it away from him. Now Edwards from fullback. Wants to go long and high out of defence.
It's a tough one for Bolton to mark, but he did really well. Sat underneath it and then got moving with a bounce towards Rioli from half-back. They moved the ball to centre wing, and that Rioli handball was just straight back to the Kangaroos, and they said, thank you very much. We've got the ball in the middle of the ground. Simpkin, he's got a player wide. Does he use him? Goes wide now. That man is forward. Has to stand up in the contest. Did it okay. And he'll get a free kick interference against Lambert. So forward on the point of the square. Had a runner, gave it to him now. Davies Uniacke chips it towards Larky. Got out the back and well read by Grimes. Getting back, the man who has got a grapevine at the Mount Macedon Ranges and does some winery stuff. Daisy is a very classy sort of individual.
You sound like you're all over it.
Some winery stuff.
Yeah. He has a grapevine, just a singular one.
Does the bottling himself and the grape stamping.
Have you tasted any of it, Brownie?
Certainly have. It's really good.
Of course you have. That's why you're plugging it. Cochin, left foot kick, misses everyone. Marked by Hall.
They're talking about it's going to be the new Grange.
Yeah, there's some definite freebies coming your way. Dumont gives it to Simpkin again. They kick long. Taylor back, but Richmond read the flight better coming in, and Grimes can send it out to the members' side at the MCG. His kick not finding a target. Turner handballs towards the boundary line, and he's going to get a free kick. Threw it out in front of him, trying to draw the free kick, and got it. So coming up to 5 minutes gone, second quarter. Kangaroos by 13 points. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. Here's Zeeble.
So Zeeble on centre wing, having a cracking season as well. That isn't a great kick. Losto went back and absolutely poleaxed Campbell. That was a big clash. Campbell went back with courage. And he got him high, said the umpire. And big Campbell will get up. That's Tom holding his eye, and that was an elbow straight to the pill.
Yeah, fantastic courage. Real car crash sort of setup. Loston going for the ball, but Campbell got there first and removed the ball with his hands, and Loston following through, got him high. Fair call by the umpire. Good play.
So Campbell, 52 out. It's a high ball, not going to be a goal. Where are the Flyers? Larky from the side. One bite, two bites for Larky. 15 metres out directly in front. He's a good player, this young talent.
He certainly is, and Jaden Stevenson just getting over to Asprey and Nankervis, who got back there to fill the hole, just asking where they may have been on that occasion. Both of them waiting for the long ball to hit the line. Well done to Larky, reading the ball quicker and coming across the front of the pack.
Larky's got one to the punt road end. Larky's got two. Touch off the boot, the umpire said. And they deck him behind play, does Nankervis. Now there's a bit of a push and shove with Stevenson and Nankervis. I know who I'm going to be backing in that one. And it's not Jaden. Let's head down to the boundary. Bob Jane T-Marts.
Behind the end of the punt road goals, Brownie, are 28 flags. Now, they represent the many cultures that make up the Tiger Army. Countries were selected on the basis of being the nations that Richmond, AFL, AFLW and wheelchair players nominated as their family's heritage. And that includes the Indigenous Torres Strait Islander and Tiwi Islands flag. Very nice touch from the Tigers.
Great information from Sarah Ollie down on the boundary. Bob Jane T-Marts, buy three, get one free. Instant cash back on Bridgestone, Continental, Pirelli and many more. bobjane.com.au.
Yeah, very good, Richmond. Very community-aware club. It's Anderson through the middle of the MCG. Kicks long to the top of 50. Larky arrived late. There's a free kick before that. It'll be a Richmond ball through Nankervis.
Thank you.
7 minutes gone, second quarter. North Melbourne 3-5, Richmond 1-3. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. Nankervis' kick was shallow. Marked by Anderson, who handballs to Zeeble. Had his hands smothered. And the Tigers looked to get busy through Bolton. He looked across the face. And his kick was stolen away by Bonner. Now the Kangaroos try and construct. Davies Uniacke works together with Bonner again and got it back. Left foot kick is a nice one. He's got forward 55 metres out from goal. It was one-on-ones, but Richmond get their numbers back. So Ford punches it low and just had enough on the kick for Larkey to take a really nice mark.
Well, Harvey Norman replay, have a look at this. That mark is taken with 5 Richmond defenders around him. He took one only moments ago on Nankervis, as Grimes, his direct opponent, had taken the hole. But that is a perfect kick. Centimetre perfect, I dare say, Brownie.
Last kick was touched by the man on the mark. He'll make sure there's plenty of distance this time. And misses across the face of goal.
A real weak sort of kick, wasn't it?
3-6 to 1-3. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. 8 minutes gone, second quarter.
Like he went half rat power on that one, Daisy.
Yeah, it was a weird pokey sort of style, wasn't it? But tell you what North Melbourne are doing there. Inaccuracy in those last 2 misses from Larkey, keeping the Tigers well and truly in this for how bad they're playing.
They are, and they keep making mistakes too as the Tigers go across the face of goal, and diving at fourth slip was Asprey, but he couldn't keep it in, and it gets out of bounds, luckily. So a boundary throw in. Kangaroos in attack. What are the inside 50 numbers in this second quarter for Red Z Lending?
Inside 50 is all North Melbourne's way. 7-1 for them. 23-10 for the game.
Loans for the self-employed. Boundary throw in. Nankervis went without it. Zerha fended off, but he couldn't get away from Meatball Prestia, who got him holding the ball. Richmond free kick, and that man Prestia, they've missed him since he's been out. What are his numbers early, Red Z Lending, Heath?
Dion Prestia, Red Z Lending stats, has had the 8 disposals.
Loans for the self-employed. A tick past 9 minutes. Prestia hugs the boundary line on the outer side. Goldstein and Curvis neither could mark. Ralph Smith did nicely, worked it back by hand to Graham, and he gave it to Baker. Kicks on his left foot towards Revolt. Couldn't get away from Taron Thomas. Nazibel picks it up as it starts to get a little greasy and a little grubby here at the MCG. Walker's handball stolen. Revolt's hands were good off the floor to Graham on the left foot. Kicks to a 1-on-3 in the pocket. Bolton flew a little early and gave away the free kick. It'll be Kane Turner's ball. Hasn't got a lot to work with ahead as we come up to the 10-minute mark in the second quarter.
There's not a lot of movement, so he goes long and wide, hugging the boundary. Goldstein was the flyer. Nankervis with a Polypharma-style handball, but it went straight back to Walker. Anderson was run down, holding the footy. And a big free kick here on the 50-metre line. Jack Graham kicked a big goal from this area against Brisbane late in the game. Can he go from 55? Plays on. Low darting ball, and it's a good one too, and he got it to Dow. Yet to kick a goal in his AFL career. Game number 5 for Dow. Young, fresh-faced Tiger. An opportunity to the city end to get the Tigers second and to get them back within striking distance. So Thomas Dow, he'll kick from just inside 50, about 49. Umpire calls play on. Sets his sights on it, brings it back, but it's the post. It was a good effort by the young man, but he's still goalless. And the Tigers 1-4-10. The Kangaroos 3-6-24, 14-point margin. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard supporting Sparky's 7:30 a.m. opening hours. Trade prices, click and collect, and free delivery for over 100 Beacon lighting stores.
Heath, take us through Jai Simpkins' game so far, please, for Red Z Lending.
Jai Simpkin, number 1 ranked player on the ground, 15 disposals. That's the most on the field. 3 clearances as well.
Should be paid a mark to the man in front, it was. Sydney Stack, who was outstanding last week. 25 disposals, 10 marks, and they're lost to Fremantle. Works back to Asprey. Now he's got Floston in the middle. That's happened a long way off the ball, Daisy, and 50. So Richmond have gone from having possession at centre-half back to a 50-metre penalty that's going to give Zerha a shot from 20 metres out directly in front.
Yeah, so Kane Turner was a little pest down there. He's been doing a pretty good job on Shea Bolton when he's been forward. Also just saw as that ball came in from Thompson Dow, he was feeding it to Tom Lynch as well.
Costly turnover, and they pay full price. Zerha kicks his second. The Kangaroos scoot ahead. They're 4-6-30. Richmond 1-4-10. 12 minutes gone on the second quarter. Daisy Thomas here with all the Triple M Cbus super special comments, delivering consistent long-term return for members. Cbus for all of us.
Yeah, as we see here on the Harvey Norman replay, just putting some bodywork into Shea Bolton as he wanted to lead. And Shea Bolton not so happy with it. Went the suplex number, flipped him over, WWE style, said sit down. And he got back up and he said sit back down again, have some more of it. Continue to feed it to him. That's why the second 50 was paid. And then some abuse as well. And well done. That's the one that the Kangaroos certainly needed to bridge that gap because they've been dominant, but the inaccurate kicking has kept the Tigers in it. Damien Hardwick would be absolutely spewing with that ill discipline.
He's a bit of a hothead sometimes. Zurha with his second. Kangaroos by 20. Ask your plumber to install a room. Steady, hot and strong. Everybody loves a shower.
Here we go.
And a bath.
McDonald's room hot water. Triple M Rocks footy. Whatever takes your fancy, Daisy. Back in the middle. Tigers need a goal. Dropped in there. The umpire agrees with me. And out of the middle go the Kangaroos through Taylor. High ball inside forward. 50 Larkey. Fisted away from him. Edwards was the first one at the drop. Left-hand handball, got it out to Graham. He's a running machine. Wants to step around. He got it to Lambert. Lambert, another one over the top. The Tigers move. Ralph Smith, that's a good kick to Dow. Point of the square, turns around. Leads come everywhere. Lynch one-on-one in the goal square. Rewalt leads up. Taking a long time, the young man. He runs around Hall on the mark and then goes with a long one to Lynch, who's not one-on-one anymore. And there's numbers back. The opportunity was lost and the Kangaroos will come away.
There's Dumont bumped as he kicked. Stevenson just got his hands underneath it, marks. 4:6:30 the Kangaroos. Tigers 1-4-10. 14 minutes gone. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. Stevenson looks into the opposite pocket for Josh Walker. It's a tumbly kick, but it's okay for Hall. And it's at this part of the ground that North Melbourne like to start to be more direct. But Curtis Taylor is held up, I should say. Hall following up from behind. He got to centre half forward. Zurha, a little bit too tall and a bit too strong. Marks 40 out directly in front over the top of Stack.
They might need to put some time into Aaron Hall.
Yeah, well, something has to change because his ability to overlap, he's been the one, and it's, again, North's ability to make the field really big. The switch isn't there to try and go open side. It's to try and spread the defence and plug it straight back through the corridor like they've done all afternoon.
Red Z lending stats, Aaron Hall, 14 disposals, already 460 metres gained.
This for number 3 for Zurha. Kick 4 in round 16 against the Bulldogs. He's got a lot of it. He's got all of it.
I didn't think he did.
North Melbourne 5-6-36 after 15 minutes in the second quarter are all over the Tigers. 1-4-10.
Well, the disappointing thing was that entry. Thompson Dow had the ball, a really good look for the Tigs, but he went back. He was so slow, no real urgency to go and get it inside forward 50 to those big talls in Rewalt and Lynch down there. In the end, it was a long bomb, nothing kick. And on the back of that, once North Melbourne get the ball, their ability to spread the field, make it wide and stretch that Richmond defence. As I said, Stevens had it in the back pocket. He wasn't looking to switch it in terms of go the open side. He knows that the Richmond defence are going to fold across, fold round, and once they get an opportunity, the hole appears through the middle, and whoosh, could they take it.
It's been a real development of the Kangaroos game, particularly last 8 weeks with David Noble. They go slow until they get it to half back, but as soon as they get an inkling that they can go from half back to half forward, they go like the clappers.
Yeah, they certainly do, and Hall's been instrumental in that. That overlap run is the old-fashioned 70-metre player. Get it 20, kick it 50, and his skills have been pretty good this afternoon.
For McDonald's Remote Water, Triple M Rocks footy. Taylor picks it up at the bootlaces, and he's tackled by a couple, and the umpire's going to ping him. He'll be holding the ball for a kick, Tigers. So Coleman Jones having a spell in the ruck. Feeds it off to Rioli, goes lateral. He got it towards Asprey. Asprey, a short ball, finds Baker. Baker feeds the handball to Sydney Stack, half forward. Will kick it inside forward, 50 to the pocket. Lynch coming in from the side as Parker. Could only go the fish, Parker. And he gets it out of bounds. Boundary throw in. Tigers in attack, but they trail by 26 points. 5-6-36. Richmond, a 1-4-10 outside the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
What about the Tigers' method going forward, Daisy? What are you seeing at the moment?
No, I'd just like a bit more speed on the ball if they could. Obviously, you've got to take what the game gives you, but that Thompson Dow one was a perfect example of the lack of connection.
There's Dow in the pocket. Sets it up to a dangerous area. Well done, Zeeble. Jumps in front, takes a good mark for the Kangaroos. Puts it out on the path of Walker at right half back. 17 minutes gone. Kangaroos lead by 26 points on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. Walker's kick, not a great one, so Davey Zuniak gathers and gives it back to him. Now he holds up. He's only missed the one game for the season, Josh. And a really handy defender for this young Kangaroos team as he looks for forward. It's off hands and out of bounds for a throw in. Some more Red Zeds, Heath.
Red Z lending stats, already the 11 intercept marks for North Melbourne so far. Tom Lynch, that was his first disposal for the game, that handball.
What's this still in the live ladder for the Kangaroos? I know they'll still be on the bottom, but how far percentage-wise are they off the Hawks?
North Melbourne right now about 10% off Hawthorn as well as the game behind.
Also got a game against Adelaide in the last round, the Kangaroos, so it's going to be interesting. So the ball goes inside forward 50. Touch ball play on. Taylor got ripped off it. Coming in was Jamont. Made it his own. Fended off. Got the handball out. Scott was there. Goldstein in the pocket. Flipped over the back. Larky to go off the ground. Can't. Well done by Vlostone. Did a really good job. Tigers with numbers now. They get it out through Mansell. Looking for Parker. Fisted away. Did a good job coming in was Bonner. And Bonner gets it over the boundary line and out of bounds. And he's pinged for deliberate. He can't believe it. Everybody here can't believe it.
The six people here cannot believe it, Brownie. Tony De Liberatore, very stiff. The ball was over the line when he hit it. He's completed the spoil. Pretty stiff.
Didn't look any better on the Triple M Harvey Norman replay. Cochin gets things going again. Siebel fisted it to ground and Simpkin works together. There's Cochin. Slapped it towards Richmond's goal. Broadcast wing. Taylor, who's been busy in the first half. Handballs to Anderson. He's bumped out of it by Morris Rioli. Ball's still available to be won. Curtis Taylor follows up for North Melbourne and looks inboard for Goldstein. Right next to the centre circle. Wanted to go long, but instead short to Marnie. Here's Rioli. Runs him down, Morris Rioli. That's what he's in the team to do. That's his first real input on the game, and it was a good one.
That was brilliant by Rioli. Marnie looked around and he thought, oh boy, I've got him coming at me and he's going to get me. He couldn't get it out. And a short little ball finds Lambert on centre wing. That was brilliant. It's what he's in the side for, and that would get his confidence up, Daisy.
Yeah, absolutely. First touch, I think that was of the footy, and well done to Baker as well for not taking the advantage. There's nothing worse as a young player like when you do something great and your teammate buggers off with the pill.
Yeah, it was good by Baker. Had his head in the game on that occasion. And the ball goes out of bounds, half forward for the Tigers. So 5-6-36, the Kangaroos doing it comfortably against the Tigers at the moment, 1-4-10. Triple M Beacon trade scoreboard. 20 minutes gone in the second term, a boundary throw in. Goldstein and Nankervis. Goldstein, I'll give that one to him. Cochin couldn't control it, went back in, tried to get it. Taron Thomas at ground level. Underneath the pack, the umpire will circle now. He come in and say my ball and ball it up.
Thanks, Dion.
Beautiful day at the MCG. Not a breath of wind around. Cold, 13 degrees, but beautiful winter's day.
A little bit of rain at the quarter-time break. I thought Sarah Ollie was in trouble for Bob Jane Teamart. Not sure if she bought the wet weather gear today. Good kick. Now Davies Uniacke has Larky at centre-half back. This kick, a real 50-50 one. Sat it on the head of McDonald. He got it to ground level and followed up. Got the McKay handball. Misses forward. Still a chance for the Kangaroos, but Larky couldn't get there first. Thompson Dow doesn't. Through the middle he looks. That kick, not a good one. Onto the chest of Davies Uniacke.
Both sides making a lot of mistakes at the moment. What is the kicking efficiency so far today?
Kicking efficiency, North Melbourne going at 72%, Richmond conversely 63.
What about scores from turnovers for North Melbourne of their 5 goals, 6?
All 5 goals from turnover so far for North Melbourne.
So Jack Marnie, run down by Rioli moments ago, short ball, and Davies Uniacke is becoming a player. Davies Uniacke on centre wing, so a couple of times they've had to slow the ball up. Goldstein a few moments ago, and now Uniacke as well. Elects to go with a long ball down towards half forward. Looked out of bounds on the full for mine, and the umpire agreed. And there's a bit of a punch on behind play. Cochin and Simpkin and Taron Thomas, and a couple of players come in. Baker, but now nothing going on, and Cochin still wants to go on with it, and short ball finds Baker. Taron Thomas, and Cochin throws Taron Thomas to the ground. Now they come back in. The fight's good. The play's going on though. Jack Graham towards centre half forward. Rewalt, 2 kicks from home. Looks for Lynch. Waits for him to go. The kick was wide. He'll have to pick it up on the bounce, Lynch. He's got a player out. Edwards. Short ball, not a good one. Got over the back, and North Melbourne pick it up.
And they've got some numbers ahead here, Brownie. If they're quick, They'll get one-on-ones ahead. Marnie on the bounce to Thomas. That's
He's
not
buggered.
a good kick.
He's
He
bucked
looks
from the fight.
absolutely cooked. Prestia took it away and kicks in towards the pocket. Bolton fell over. And North Melbourne exit defensive 50s through Tarrant.
There is nothing that stuffs you more than wrestling with somebody. And it is a horrendous feeling.
Just a young ball and the old ball. Cochin came straight to the bench for his spell. Thomas stayed out there, and he is absolutely cooked. Hands on hips. He's not moving.
He got thrown into the turf by Cochin and took ages to get up. Next minute, the footy was in his hands. Marnie hangs on. Simpkin there as well.
It was a nice chip to him in the middle, too. He just couldn't get near it.
Well, the punch-on started. He actually decked Cochin, and then Cochin got up and said, I do not like that too much, and absolutely mixed him.
Kangaroos by 26 points from McDonald's and Ream Hotwater. Triple M Rocks footy. Nankervis hacks it forward to the top of 50. Thomas repels. Looks like he's got some air back in his lungs. Aaron Hall will have to be quick. Kicked around the corner. McDonald made it look okay. Probably better than what it was. Bonner against the boundary line. Davies Uniacke. There's Rioli again. Bump the kick and gives Richmond a chance to get forward again.
Nankervis sweeping handball to Prestia. Prestia steps in, steps out. He's under pressure. Absolutely rip snore of a tackle from Zerha, who got him, made him hurt, and he likes to do that.
Oh, does he ever? I think he hurt himself in the process. I'm not sure what Prestia was thinking. He stood there for an absolute eternity. Zerha, he saw the big eyes. They just lit up, didn't they, and mowed him.
If he was one of those Mr. Men books, he would have been Mr. Confused. He didn't know where to go. Short ball finds Zeeble. Kangaroos up for the fight at the moment, playing some good footy. And they're now chipping the ball around. Inside the last 2 minutes before half-time, they lead by 26. So Tarrant, a standing start to half forward. Goldstein is the target, fisted at the ground level, and the ball gets out of bounds. And I can't wait to see that again on the Triple M Harvey Norman replay. Harvey Norman, your leaders in technology. Huge range of laptops to suit any budget. Shop online with contactless click and collect available.
I'll tell you what, we mentioned Sarah Ollie down there for Bob Jane T-Mart. The only person down there doing her job properly, not choosing to be up in the box. Well done to you, Sarah Ollie. Even the host broadcaster, Fox, I see David King. He's retreating to the stands in between his crosses boundary side.
How you going down there, Says?
There are 101,000 seats in this stadium, and there's only one being occupied at the moment, and that is Sarah Ollie for Triple M Harvey Norman replay.
She's dedicated.
Even Bob Jane T-Marts as well.
She puts her head over the Sharon when it's her turn. And short.
She's fallen asleep.
Best and fairest winner. I can see her. It's just
wanting a little bit of feedback for our Emma.
Nothing.
It's almost as bad as when Daisy blanked you in the first quarter, Brownie.
Just giving one of the all-time great pump-ups and just fresh air.
Aaron Hall. What number's this, Heath, for Reds Atlantic for Aaron Hall?
This is number 20 for Aaron Hall.
On the back of 36 last week in their game against Geelong. Hoists it to the wing. Campbell's contest was okay. Bailey Scott dropped it as soon as he got it. And that, rightly so, will be holding the ball.
If you're not getting a minimum 25 a week at half-back, you're not doing your job.
No, you're not. It's become a very easy spot to play. But the key is you still got to use the ball. There's a 25 and there's a 25, if you know what I mean. You can get 25 junk ones, or you can have 25 really damaging ones.
Rioli to Stack, inside forward 50. I might get back to you with an example. Free kick goes to Richmond. And Jack Rewalt will take that. And they badly need this before half-time. Give me an example of a good 25 and a player who gets a bad 25.
Well, not so much an example, but in tonight's game, so Aaron Hall's had 20-odd disposals almost to the half here. A lot of them have been overlap. You know, the ability to break a line. Think of some of the players who kick out from full-back a lot.
Rewalt on the half-time siren. Umpire does a lot of work. Does he squeeze it in? He does. Nice goal at half-time for the Tigers. And it's very quiet here at the MCG. 2-4-16, the Tigers at half-time. The Kangaroos lead by 20 points. 5-6-36 for McDonald's Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy.
That quarter for Beacon Trade. Supporting Sparkies with 7:30am opening hours, trade prices, click and collect and free delivery from over 100 Beacon lighting stores.
For Ream Hot Water,
Triple M rocks footy.
Built tough for Aussie conditions. When it comes to water heating, ask your plumber to install a ring.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
G'day, it's Barry Denner. Straight after this game, Triple M rocks footy.
Irresistible.
Join the Tempur mattress call team for the Saints and Swans. For Ream Hot Water and McDonald's, Triple M rocks footy.
To celebrate 50 years of Macca's, we're introducing the Mac family. And with every medium or large Mac Junior, Big Mac or Grand Big Mac meal, you'll get one of 6 free Macca's glasses, but only for a limited time. Available after 10:30am while stocks last.
For the hottest of hot water you've ever seen. Ream comes on steady, hot and strong. It just keeps on and on.
Ask your plumber about Ream's advanced stainless steel water heaters with 12-year cylinder warranties.
Install a Ream. Install a Ream.
Accept nothing less than Australia's best.
Open your ears to a new world of audio on Listener.
It's got some really wicked music shows.
Definitely The Spin with Linda Mariano. She just knows her music.
Don't really get the chance to listen to Marty Sheargold lives. I can catch up late in the afternoon, like when I'm finished work and stuff. It's great.
I love the briefing, short, sharp, gets everything you need.
Just love that it's free. Listener. Radio, podcasts, music and news. Download the new app and listen for free. Listener.
At Highmark Homes, select ranges are offered with a ColourBond steel roof as a no-cost upgrade, including the stunning Par 123 home with 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms and an extra lounge room. Plus, ColourBond Steel is offering the chance to win $10,000 cash. Enter now at colorbond.com/winbig. ColourBond Steel, made for Australia. Loved in Victoria, trusted by Highmark Homes. Conditions apply. See website for details.
Are you a qualified electrician or gas fitter looking for an opportunity to get your career cooking? Right now, the Oven Repairman is looking to add to its growing team of qualified technicians. Step out of the cold and work indoors. Enjoy work-life balance with no weekend work, your own vehicle, great pay, full training and a team to support you. Time to step into a new career and a new lifestyle. Google the Oven Repairman.
Who can get you cooking again? The Oven Repairman can.
They say it's a jungle out there, but now that jungle is in your living room.
Everything that you see wants to kill you and can.
From Disney comes the all-new action-adventure Jungle Cruise, starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Emily Blunt.
Haven't you been dreaming about adventure?
Experience a rollicking thrill ride through the Amazon on an epic quest like no other.
Hold on!
Disney's Jungle Cruise, now streaming on Disney Plus for an additional fee with Premier Access. Conditions apply. Visit disneyplus.com.
ABS are your vehicle repairs specialists. We're experts in repairs on brakes, clutch, suspension, transmission, steering and much more. Visit our repairs specialists who have over 30 years experience. Book online at absauto.com.au or call 13 22 70.
People think anxiety is a sign of personal weakness.
Anxiety is something you can just snap out of.
Anxiety isn't a real medical illness.
If you think these statements are true, think again. Over 85% of Australians believe that anxiety is not a sign of personal weakness, is not something you can just snap out of, and is a real medical condition. What you're thinking isn't what they're thinking. No one anxiety is talking.
Triple M rocks footy.
This halftime break for X-Lock Tools and Accessories by Bosch. Extra fast, extra safe and extra easy.
Half-time at the MCG and X-Lock Tools and Accessories by Bosch. Extra fast, extra safe and extra easy. See the Kangaroos by 20 points, 5-6-36. The Tigers at 2-4-16. North led by 19 at quarter time. They now lead by that 20-point margin. Zurha has 3 for the Kangaroos. From McDonald's and Triple M. Rocks footy, Ream, Hot Water, always with us every year. Now, Daisy, it's been a massive first half. The Kangaroos done a really good job, 20 points in front. Probably should be further in front.
Yeah, they should be. Inaccurate kicking in that term especially. They're still getting some really good looks, which is the pleasing thing for them. And the Richmond Tigers, when they're getting it inside forward 50 and getting a look inside forward 50, really poor connection. It's been slow, it's been passive, and the Kangaroos have just been able to flood numbers back. But when they do win it back, their ability to spread the field has been really impressive. We sit up here and we can see it a lot easier, obviously, than what it is at ground level. But they want to make the ground nice and wide, stretch that Richmond defence with one aim in that whole process, and that is to plug it back through the corridor. And once they do, it's the overlap handball, it's the run and gun. And that Richmond defence that's got wide, it's got short on the ball, getting really torched out the back.
Still got some stars forward of the ball at the Tigers. Obviously, Tom Lynch and Jack Rewalt are two of those, but they look very impotent at the moment, going from the forward half of the ground inside forward 50, even with those two players.
Just a lack of connection. A couple of times we saw Parker in the first quarter. He wheeled and went, and both forwards were heading back towards goal, not even looking where he was. Zeeble was able to come across from a kick that just had to be put to space on that occasion. Thompson Dowell had a really good look inside forward 50. He got the ball to centre half forward. He looked up, but again, no one was really coming at him. And that movement, when your confidence is up and you think you are the man, you're the big key target, you get the big jukes out as you're leading out, you demand the footy, and I'm just not seeing it for both of those players at the minute. And it's probably on the back of the poor inside 50s that lead up to that. They're doing a lot of hard work having to wrestle against 2 and 3 opponents. So then when they do get a good look, they're probably buggered or don't have the opportunity, almost waiting for an extra handball, an overuse issue through the middle, which has happened for most of not only tonight but the season for the Tigers.
Many people, footy pundits, probably thought Aaron Hall was done. He was gone. He was out of the side at various times last year. He's gone to half-back, and probably their most damaging player this year and even today. Had 20-odd disposals at half-time. Turned his career around on the back of probably David Noble giving him a chance to excel in a position that he's good at.
Yeah, absolutely. And we probably all know that the knock is the fitness level, and when you're at half-back, you defend your man, but if he gets into bad spots and you can then impact going forward, it's a lot easier running towards your own goal. So I don't think the fitness has increased a hell of a lot, to be completely honest, but you're not doing that two-way running across the ground, the length, the width that you do throughout the midfield, and that was the knock on him, and that's when you get exposed the most. So if you can be led to the ball by an opponent, be good enough to nullify them, but then pick and choose when you want to go, and he goes bloody hard when he does, but he's had a really good timing in his efforts, and that's why he's had so much of the footy, because they've been unable to stop him. The ball's been switched across, his man's either had to roll off to someone else, and his ability to pin the ears back and get that overlap handball, and the best part of his game tonight, he's actually used it really well. Every now and then he can butcher the odd one, but tonight he's lowered the eyes and used it really well.
That's the voice of Daisy Thomas, Triple M Seabar Super Special Comments, doing a fine job. Triple M Red Z Lending Stats. Ethan Meldrum's here. No socks on but jeans today, so it's that look that the young kids go for these days.
I do have socks on. They're just slightly...
We just can't see them.
Slightly hidden by the shoes.
So that's why you've rolled your jeans up 4 lengths?
Oh, not 4. 1.
It looks like a double roll to me. Is it 1 roll or 2?
Yeah, maybe the jeans are getting a little bit shorter. Maybe they're shrunk in the wash, Brownie.
Some stats?
Amazing.
Some stats are probably too. That's what I'm here for, Brownie. North Melbourne, 222 disposals to halftime. 72 uncontested marks. That's the third most any team's recorded to halftime this season. So they're just controlling it with their uncontested marks. All 5 of their goals from turnover as well. Leading ball winners on the ground. Aaron Hall, as you guys were flagging, 20 disposals, 523 metres gained. Most on the field by a long way. 5 scoring involvements as well. Anderson, 17. Davies Uniacke, 17. Simpkin, 17 as well. For the Tigers, Nick Vlosten, 14 disposals, 3 intercept marks. He's their highest ranked player. Jack Graham, the 14 disposals as well.
Choice Hotels around the grounds. Need a break? Book direct and save with Choice Hotels, choicehotels.com. What happened earlier today and what's happening after this?
Well, it's a string of upsets this round. Earlier today, it was Gold Coast defeating Carlton and probably ending their finals chances by 19 points at Marvel Stadium. Yesterday, it was the Giants knocking off Geelong by 19 points as well down at GMHBA Stadium. Later tonight, Adelaide listeners going to the showdown, Adelaide versus Port Adelaide. Everyone else going to St Kilda versus Sydney at Marvel Stadium again.
Amy, who covers clangers, Amy does. Lucky you're with Amy. He's our clanger from the first half. Coming on the ground is Hugo Ralph Smith. What a name that is. I'd imagine he'd be wearing Ralph Lauren polo tops. Yeah? I don't go with him on that.
Or Hugo Boss.
Yep.
Very good.
Didn't exactly go with you then, Daves, did he, Brownie?
Gave me bugger all.
Absolutely stuff all.
Well, just because your name is something doesn't mean you wear it. My last name isn't Adidas, but I sport a lot of it.
I find anyone with a hyphen normally wears Ralph Lauren.
Your last name's Brown and you're wearing grey.
That didn't make sense for the viewers, did it? Amy, who covers clangers, Amy does. Lucky you're with Amy. That must have been a real down part of the game. Just having a little bit of a back and forth there, Daisy.
Yes, it was. I think Jack's just breathed a sigh of relief after his hip-hop of anonymous at the top of the goal square there. It was almost Dizzy Rascal-esque.
I'm surprised it wasn't in there.
Stroke on air.
I'm surprised it wasn't in there. I thought that was a perfect one for the Amy clangers, but this is the halftime break for Bosch Power Tools, X-Lock Tools and Accessories by Bosch. Extra fast, extra safe and extra easy sees the Kangaroos leading by 20 points. 5-6-36 to 2-4-16 from McDonald's Room Hot Water. Triple M. Rocks footy.
That halftime break for X-Lock Tools and Accessories by Bosch. Extra fast, extra safe and extra easy.
For Ream Hot Water and Macca's 50th birthday.
Triple M rocks footy.
Did you know that Macca's has been in Australia for 50 years, Days?
Well, that is 50 years of post-game Big Macs.
Did your folks ever treat you to a Big Mac after sport?
Absolutely. Mother Kay, she loved it. And most Aussie families would have hit up the Golden Arches after sport on a Saturday.
Yes, I got my McDonald's card the other day, but even after 50 years, there's still plenty to celebrate.
There is, because the big family keeps getting bigger with Grand Big Mac, and Mac Jr.
And now that's worth celebrating.
Hi, it's Marty Sheargold from Triple M's Marty Sheargold Show, and right now, Triple M rocks football, and I'm back Monday morning from 6. I think I saw some AFL footballers at the gym I was at.
You did?
Walking around in my Speedos, with those guys hovering around me. I thought, no way, guys.
Do you think they felt bad about themselves?
I think they looked at me and probably thought, wow, maybe the start of his journey.
Triple M's Marty Sheargold Show. Weekdays from 6. Or hear it anytime on the new Listener app.
Oh. What's wrong?
I don't like beer anymore.
But what will we do with the beer fridge?
What about beers with footy? Beers in the shower?
When did beer move in?
All good?
Right at home.
Over beer? Canadian Club.
G'day guys, Billy here. Can you believe Maccas have now been in Australia for 50 years? That's 50 years of post-match Maccas feeds. Where I grew up, in Drewildry, we didn't have a Maccas. In fact, Drewildry still doesn't have a Maccas. But I love playing other teams in the Murray League, like Deniliquin or Cobram, because those guys had a Maccas. 50 years of post-match Maccas. Now that's worth celebrating.
G'day, it's Lawrence Mooney here, and I'm happy to announce that my favourite sportsbook is now your favourite podcast. That's right, check out Saturday Afternoon Fever on the Listener app, as myself and the author Matthew Hardy bring this hilarious, tragic and triumphant best-selling favourite to life. So laugh along with us on the Listener app.
Are you a carpenter's apprentice who's got what it takes to be the best? Milwaukee Carpentry Apprentice of the Year is your chance to make it official. Enter now at milwaukeetool.com.au for your chance to take the title, as well as a frame-to-finish starter pack worth over $3,000. Enter to win Milwaukee Carpentry Apprentice of the Year by 13th of September at milwaukeetool.com.au. See website for terms and conditions. Milwaukee. Nothing but heavy duty.
Are you a qualified electrician or gas fitter looking for an opportunity to get your career cooking? Right now, the Oven Repairman is looking to add to its growing team of qualified technicians. Step out of the cold and work indoors. Enjoy work-life balance with no weekend work, your own vehicle, great pay, full training and a team to support you. Time to step into a new career and a new lifestyle. Google the Oven Repairman.
Who can get you cooking again? The Oven Repairman can.
Now you can stream Triple M footy wherever you are. Download the Listener app and select Triple M.
Hi, it's Damien Carbon with your national news briefing. There's concerning COVID numbers out of Melbourne today. 29 new infections, and all of them were out and about in the community. Premier Dan Andrews was very clear in his message: follow the lockdown rules.
As painful and as challenging as they are, these rules are in place to drive case numbers down. If we don't follow these rules, then we will, through our own choices, we will drive cases up. That's not what we want. That's not how we get through this and get open again.
South East Queensland's 13 new COVID cases today are all linked to existing cases. Top Doc Jeanette Young still waiting to make the call on lifting the lockdown.
Today's numbers are encouraging, but I really can't predict what tomorrow will do. I need those numbers before we have a decision.
New South Wales has recorded more than 300 COVID cases for the first time, and another 5 people have died overnight. Of the 319 new cases today, 53 were infectious in the community. The outbreak has also forced the regional centre of Armidale into a snap 7-day lockdown after 2 cases were detected there. Epidemiologist Professor Tony Blakely has told Channel 7 the lockdown's going to go for a while longer.
The most likely scenario here, though, unfortunately, is bridging over to September, October, when the vaccination coverage goes up enough that it tips the balance towards the contact tracing and bringing the numbers down.
In other news, a man is dead after 2 shootings within minutes of each other in Chester Hill in Sydney. And 2 Army personnel are recovering in Cairns after being attacked by a crocodile.
The Royal Melbourne Hospital Home Lottery is back with a $4 million grand prize in Camberwell. Visit rmhomelottery.com.au. Permit 10265.
Triple M weather for Melbourne, dropping to 7 tonight with a foggy start tomorrow, then sunny and 16, cloudy for Monday and Tuesday, rain on Wednesday. And to stream every minute of the footy live this weekend wherever you are, download the Listener app and select Triple M Melbourne 105.1.
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for IGA Liquor. Proudly local, proudly independent.
Kangaroos lead by 20 points at half-time, 5-6-36. The Tigers are 2-4-16. 20-point margin for McDonald's Marine Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy. IGA Liquor have got you covered this footy season. Get your favourite spirits, beer and wine. Head to IGAliquor.com.au to find your nearest store. IGA Liquor, proudly local, proudly independent. Jack Herber with me, Sarah Ollie down to the boundary line, Daisy Thomas, Ethan Meldrum. Is there anything in this third quarter that Dimmer can change because the Kangaroos control this footy?
Well, when they get their looks inside forward 50, I'd be encouraging the Tigers to go fast, and I'd be almost playing Lynch and Rewald instead of having the 2 twin towers down there, playing one up the ground as your traditional centre-half forward and almost having one out of the goal square. So if you do get it to centre-half forward, you know you can roll with confidence that somebody will be coming out at you full-chested, but they've got to find a way to keep the Kangaroos playing one side of the ground. That's the issue at the minute. The too many times the Kangaroos have been able to switch with full well, knowing they're going to try and plug it back through the corridor, and the Richmond defence has been too slow at covering all those holes because the MCG, the width of it, it's just too wide to not give up something.
Bob Jane Team Marts, buy 3, get 1 free and instant cash back on Bridgestone, Continental, Pirelli and many more. bobjane.com.au. Sarah Ollie occupies one of the 100,000 seats here. There is nobody else down there, Sarah.
Yeah, I wasn't ignoring you before, boys. We were just having a few technical issues, of course. I've got to say, even though I'm the only person down here, it's quite hectic. I don't know if you can hear it, but they're playing Fisher, which is that DJ that Dusty partied with after Richmond took out the latest flag. But just in terms of the footy, both medical subs unactivated. That's Will Phillips for the Kangaroos and that's Jason Castagna for the Tigers. I've got to say, it's very icy down here, and overhead, some ominous-looking clouds. They are black and menacing.
Sarah, are you a fan of Fisher?
I wouldn't say a fan, but he'll play.
I'm just seeing up here that Daisy, his foot hasn't stopped. He's just tapping the floor over and over and over again. He looks like a fan.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a fan. It's sort of the nightclub scene's been robbed of me for the past couple of years, Brownie, and obviously when I was a player I loved the circuit, but ever since I've retired, haven't had the opportunity to go full bunter. So I'm ready to go, are you Dennis Rodman style.
Are you a dance floor type of operator?
No, I'm sort of your booth operator, just the odd fist pump here and there, and just getting it done quietly in the shadows.
I was a reverse prone hold one at the bar, so both elbows on the bar, your back to the bar and your chest to everybody else. So that was my spot. What about you, Hev?
Anywhere near the bar, Brownie, the closest to the bar that you could possibly be.
Ethan, Triple M Red Z lending stats. What was the one biggest stat that the Kangaroos did well in that first half?
Well, it was their uncontested mark, 72 to half-time, which is the third most recorded by a team to half-time this season. Richmond, on the other hand, just the 46 of those.
And a couple of big games to go. There's a huge one Monday night, West Coast up against the Demons. Daisy?
Yeah, that's going to be a huge one over there in the West as well, and we know the D's are going pretty well, and West Coast, their form is patchy at best, so we don't really know what West Coast we're going to get, but so far this round it's been all upset, so anything could happen.
And a game on tonight, St Kilda up against Sydney. Sydney got a great record at Marvel. St Kilda 3-7 on their own home deck, and they don't look like they can run across or cover the ground at Marvel like they'd like to.
No, and Sydney have been fantastic. They won 5 in a row now. They kicked 98-plus points in their last 3 games, so they're getting it done defensively. But the pleasing thing, those different avenues to goal, it's not just Buddy, it's not just Papley. Heaney's been a star. Young Errol Goulden's really bobbed up.
Errol.
So, yeah, it's a great name. Sounds like he should be next to Mick Lovin getting it done.
So for a long time, we've thought that the Bulldogs, Melbourne, Geelong, possibly Brisbane are the only 4 sides that can win the flag. Does Sydney come into that contention now?
I think Sydney are definitely the wild card because I think the way they play, they can beat anyone on any given day. And with the, as you say, Buddy and Papley, just different avenues to goal. It's not relying on one person getting the job done.
North by 20 points for McDonald's Marine Hot Water. Triple M, rocks footy.
Kangaroos' first game here since round 3 2019, and they're loving life. They lead by 20 points. Umpire down in that first contest in the middle. He's well and truly struggling as well as Anderson kicks a spiralling ball to centre-half forward, out in front of Curtis Taylor, who had a good first half. Danny Rioli missed the target with a tap. Ralph Smith Does okay. Kicks a low ball. That's marked by Lambert.
He's in a bad way, the umpire.
How's he looking, Brownie?
Well, he's just swapped over with the other. He was the field umpire, and the umpire up this end, the punt road end, said, you go down here, I'll take this bit of play. Got a trainer out to him now. He's starting to move a little bit better now.
That's umpire Hayden Gavine, who's a bit slow. Ralph Smith from half forward, a high up and under kick just inside 50. Lynch couldn't get a look at it. Davies Uniacke can mop up for North Melbourne. Wants to be aggressive and kick to a 2-on-1. Coleman Jones was bumped off it. Ball still available to be won at ground level. Zerha bottles it up and umpire calls for it.
A big Nan Curvis got it knocked out of him on that occasion. Looks a bit sore. Bit of claret coming out of the right nostril. And the umpire spotted what I did from 180 yards away. That's actually, well, on the other side, he's got a lot of blood coming out of his eye as well. Triple M Harvey Norman replay screen was probably good for the umpire.
Just having a look at the Richmond doctor making his way out to the umpire. He's waved him away bravely.
It's tough.
It was a good hit on the Harvey Norman replay. Just back through three players who absolutely steamrolled him, and then Simpkin got him again on the way up.
Young Eddie Ford did a good job, and he's a small man, but he's taken down Nan Curvis, the biggest of the big out there. He'll have a ball up on centre wing. How's that umpire going out there, Days? He okay? Still holding the back of his neck?
Yeah, he's scratching the back of his neck, and I'm looking down, the emergency umpire licking his lips, starting to warm up down there in front of Sarah Ollie.
No, they make him tough these days, the umpires. He'll be fine. Tigers inside forward 50. Zeeble gets back with courage, takes a mark. It's a big bull of a human being, Zeeble. And that's a bad kick straight back to Shane Edwards. I was just about to say how good of a kick he was on the back of being a bull, and then turned it over. Edwards with an opportunity to go back to back goals for the Tigers for the first time today. 40 out directly in front.
Yeah, horrible turnover there, and just awkwardly went looking for high fives too on the back of that turnover, did Zeeble. Not sure there was too many forthcoming.
280 games for Shane Edwards. What a player he's been. The last 4 years has been super. 40 out directly in front. From South Australia originally. Nice kick. And the Tigers can feel something happening.
They want you to come off and get checked, okay?
3-4-22. The mic effects in the background, the umpires are saying, I want you to go off and get checked, so maybe we'll have an umpire coming off. But the Tigers, they close to 14. 3-4-22, 5-6-36, the Kangaroos. Triple MIJ Liquor scoreboard, proudly local, proudly independent.
Well, I guess the AFL concussion policies cover everybody on the ground, including the umpires, but as we heard there, mic'd up exclusively, requested that he go off. The doctors want to have a look at him, and he's just said, get stuffed, I'm staying out there. So you can see now, he's still gesturing to the back of his neck. Be interesting to see if he does come off. I'm sure Sarah Ollie will be all over that one. That's a big story.
He's tough as nails.
Just brushed him away straight away. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy. And for all of North Melbourne's dominance, Tigers are only 14 points down. The first goal of the third quarter, a big one for them as they play for their spot in September. Coleman Jones in the ruck. He's tapped only as far as Simpkin, who's tackled, tried to brush off Bolton and then took on the second tackle.
Second tackle.
He's caught holding the ball. Boundary umpire, the emergency umpire now doing some run through, so we might be seeing a change in a minute. It's Richmond stream forward over the head of Coleman Jones. Mackay took it on, shoveled a handball to Goldstein. He lost it, got it back, only as far as Edwards. Quick one to Revolt. He couldn't get a boot on it.
Not just run throughs, he's actually run out into the field at the moment. The emergency umpire.
Calling for a head count maybe, Brownie.
Is he in the play, Brownie?
I think that's 4 umpires out there. It's a bit too much.
Stand.
So we wait. Kangaroos lead by 14 points. Triple MIJ Liquor scoreboard.
It's a good kick by Tarrant. Just a slight angle on it. Got it to Davies Uniacke. Standing on the defensive 50. An umpire still refusing to come off. It's Dermot, 89 grand final stuff by the umpire. It's been brilliant. It's the toughest thing I've seen. And the ball towards centre wing and mark taken by Anderson. Wants to get up and give it to Hall. Had a brilliant first half. Low ball. Stevenson. Zerha ducks back. He's kicked 3. Can Zerha get over the top? Can't. Getting back with courage was Grimes. Did a good job. Safe as a house. Dylan Grimes and marks it comfortably.
Yeah, really good effort there because Zerhard turned him around, and again it was Aaron Hall got the handball received, and as soon as he gets that, those Richmond defenders are looking really short on the footy, a lot of space out the back.
Coleman Jones ended up marking uncontested as the kick fell a bit short. Goes back inside defensive 50. That's okay for Mansell. And now in the right back pocket, Asprey. So Tigers happy to kick short and try and construct along the outer side.
Go with him, Luke. Thank you.
Jaden short.
You kick.
And then Rioli in, following up Asprey. So 7 or 8 possessions. They've got themselves up to the wing position. They trail by 14 points, the Tigers. 6 minutes gone, third quarter. Walker, best place to mark this one, couldn't. Had it taken away from him by Davies Uniacke. Tried to get the wraparound on Mackay. Had to handball himself in the end to McDonald. He's got some issues. Lambert's got him, got a boot on it, and Cochin pounces. Revolt had to be quick by hand. It's kicked off the ground by Edwards. He's 40 metres out from goal, slaps it forward. Coleman Jones couldn't find Baker, and North Melbourne dodge a bullet.
Got the answers at the moment. The Kangaroos, relieving kick, looks out wide, and Simpkin takes a nice mark in front of Ralph Smith. Bob Jane T. Martins head out of the boundary. Sarah Ollie.
The AFL's doctor has headed on to the North Melbourne bench. He's looking at vision of the umpire in the centre, Hayden Gavin, and Michael Pell. Well, I've never seen someone whip off their jacket so fast, and he's still on the boundary line down here waiting to go on.
Sarah Ollie, Bob Jane T. Martins all over it. So Larkey took a good mark on centre wing and went from that position to half forward looking for Goldstein, outnumbered. Ball hit the ground level. Zurha was there. Short picked it up and then swept one. Out wide, Prestia. Another handball to Graham. Graham steps inside and then back to Prestia. Right foot down to half forward. Tarrant gets into the front position. Can't mark it. At ground level was Rewalt. Inch the little ball out to Lambert. Lambert inside forward 50. The run of it is Lynch. Can it sit for him? He hooks it back to the top of the square. But only Kangaroos were there. And they push it through for a rush behind. Good play by the Tigers. But in the end, only through for one behind. 36 plays, 23, 13-point margin. Driven by J Liquor scoreboard.
Yeah, good play, but their pressure certainly lifted. 192 their pressure in this quarter, only going at 167 to the half. So they come out, their intensity's lifted, and on the back of that, they're getting some good opportunities.
Any Reds Eds to back that up, Heath, in the third quarter?
Well, it is the pressure, as Daisy was saying. 192, the AFL average there, 180. So the Tigers have certainly lifted.
Reds Ed lending, loans for the self-employed. Dow ripped into the turf, got a handball away. Daniel Rioli, right next to the interchange bench, gives it to Graham, who steps back, buys himself a little bit of time, and kicks inboard to Prestia.
Again, this is the issue. No urgency to go back and reward a lead. He had Rewalt chest out there.
He looks short. In the end, it worked out okay. He was patient, waited for the right man to come to him, and that was Jack Graham.
Well, he was certainly patient, but I think it was more bad defending than good forward craft from the Richmond defenders there. The Richmond forwards, I should say.
Graham's going to go with a little one as well. And Nick Floston is floated down from defence. Only kicked the 27 goals in his career. None this year. He'll kick with the man on the mark, 48 metres out from goal. It'll take his absolute best. He gets very close to him. And it's off to the right.
I don't know why Jack Graham can kick that himself. He's a good kick of the footy.
Yeah, and he would have been probably 4 or 5 metres closer than where Vlosten ended up pulling the trigger from. So that's twice now Graham's had shots or had the ability to have a shot from 50 or just beyond and hasn't pulled the trigger.
Triple M Seabus Super Special comments. Daisy Thomas delivering consistent long-term return for members. Seabus for all of us. They've turned it over again. Bolton inside forward 50. And that is going to bounce through for a goal. It looked like he was going to the top of the square. I think he was, but then it just kept carrying and the ball bounced through. Tigers have now got 3 in a row. Danger signs for the Kangaroos. Back to a goal of difference. The Kangaroos lead. Triple MI J Liquor scoreboard.
Yeah, it was fantastic play, and on the back of a turnover, just wanting to go fast, sensing that urgency, sensing that the North Melbourne defenders were going to be spread. I think you're right there, Brownie, as we see on the Harvey Norman replay. Jack Rewald had led one way, and he looked like he was pulling the trigger at him, but it went low and hard, carried the pack, and no one was on the goal line. Good goal, and here come the Tigs.
They've looked good in this third quarter. They trail by 20 points at half-time, Richmond. Shea Bolton, after re-signing with the club during the week for another 2 years, he's had a fantastic season. Leads the club in inside 50s, leads the club in clearances, and 6th in the competition for goal assists.
What was the game high, Heath?
The game high lead for Red Zed Lending stats was 26 points.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. It's back to a goal, the difference at the Triple M and CG. It's Thomas for North Melbourne, paddling over the footy. He's got Graham hanging on. Lays the tackle and puts him into the ground.
Emergency umpire on the ground, number 49. Let's keep an eye on him.
Michael Pell throws it up. That's a good start by him. Davies Uniacke gets Boots a ball. Still inside the centre square. Dow. Hands were good and hands were quick. Has Prestia. And now Jaden Short rips a handball out wide to Rioli. Arches his back. Has time for a bounce. This is Daniel Rioli darting around. Wanted to get the 1-2 and put Prestia in a bit of trouble. Graham there to try and help out. 3-on-1 at half forward, but the footy doesn't sit for Morris Rioli. And it rolls out of bounds, 50 metres out from the Tigers' goal.
Done this a few times this year, the Kangaroos. Off to good starts, and then they allow clubs to get back 26-point lead, and they butchered a couple of opportunities going forward as well.
Yeah, they certainly have. Larky's been the culprit a couple of times, but it looks like the Tigers are happy just to level things up forward of the footy. It's been +1 v +1 most of the afternoon. Hall's been that man for North Melbourne. Now it looks like they've sent a number around to make it 6-on-6 forward of the footy.
Tigers starting to win the contested footy. Davies Uniacke tackled. He's got one arm free. And the umpire calls for a ball up. So, dangerous times for the Kangaroos. Game high 26, back to 6 now. The Tigers are coming. Simpkin from the stoppage, tumbles it towards half forward. Ford's been impressive, takes a mark on his chest. He's got a player in the middle, elects not to go there. Goldstein forward of the ball. Can he use his smarts? Ford steps around a couple, then goes the long one to the top of the square. Zerha gets back, can't mark it. Fisted through. And a call from the crowd was hungry.
Yes.
I don't know what it was, but it was definitely a hungry Kevin Bartlett style call.
Is that Sarah Ollie?
7-point lead. 37 plays 30. Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard. Sarah, are you down there calling out hungry?
No, but I am. But Hayden Gavin is back on the ground. So he went down the race with the AFL's emergency physician. He's been checked out and he's back out there. And that means the day is done for Michael Pell.
Joe, the cameraman, strikes again.
You don't often hear a call of hungry at the footy anymore, unless it's a local footy.
Yeah, that's it. That sort of chewy on the boot went out a long time ago, didn't it?
There's Parker. Out of side wing for Richmond. They're really starting to build in this third quarter. Heads for Lynch at half forward, playing from behind. Front and centre Lambert. Dispossessed as soon as he got it. Taylor on hands and knees to Stevenson. They're going to handball their way through the corridor. Taron Thomas to McDonald. And now Stevenson. They've got numbers streaming ahead. Ford gives it back to Zerha. 40 metres out. He was off balance as he kicked. And he pushes it across the face and out of bounds on the full.
It was a really clever press out then from Sydney Stack. He came off his direct opponent and he was the one who put Zerha under enough pressure to not see the target. He had Larky and he also had Goldstein in the pocket. Put enough pressure on him that the kick was forced under pressure and pulled out of bounds on the full.
Kangaroos by 7 points. Triple M IGA Liquor scoreboard.
Just a bit of panic from the Kangaroos at the moment. The Tigers are coming. Vlostone runs out of defensive 50. Short ball. He misses the target. Opportunity now for the Kangaroos. Left behind by Simpkin. Sydney Stack came in. He was clean from ground level and got it to Dow. Dow chips the ball. Lambert, centre wing. Another short ball finds Graham. The old firm into the middle. Here's Prestia. Clean bowled him. Enough time to go back and get it. Ralph Smith out. Does he get it? No. Jaden Short says, I'm a big kick. I'm a long kick. And he closes and he gets inside forward 50 to Shane Edwards. And he'll go back from 50 metres out.
You'd imagine this will take his very best. He's looking around, Parker wrapped around, but he looks somewhat confident. But again, a better passage of play, some speed on the ball, some overlap handball. And once they got it to the wing, it was the ability to change an angle and go back through the corridor, which brought in the open side of the ground. And we talked about a good press only moments ago, a pretty poor one there from Walker.
Kicked the first goal of the third term, Shane Edwards. This from 52. Long ball, high ball, good ball. Tigers are within one. 3 goals this quarter, 2 to Edwards, 1 to Bolton. And it's now a 1-point ball game, 37 plays 36. Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard. Choice out towels around the grounds. We've got a penalty shootout, Sweden up against Canada at the Olympics.
It's not live, Browning.
Okay.
Would you like the spoiler?
What's on this? It's on this screen.
Yes.
And I just thought when it said live, it might have been live, but it's not. Just get the sponsors in. Choice Hotels, very good people.
They certainly are. It's a missed penalty anyway. But back to the footy here. North Melbourne for the first time this afternoon have looked a little bit like they trying to force it a little bit too much. Rush, no composure going forward inside their forward 50 for the first time. They look like they've done it at ease, but turning the ball over, and on the back of that, Richmond have got their turnover game going.
Yeah, Red Z leading stats. North Melbourne leading, playing a kick 6-0 this quarter, going to 58% by foot. Richmond, conversely, 77%.
Just for my own records, when was this game played?
This morning.
Okay.
The Mac family's arrived at Macca's. Get a free limited edition glass with every medium or large McFamily meal. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks Footy. Richmond having a really good third term, and the Kangaroos have got to get busy. This is a good clearance. Stevenson, lightning handball. He received from Thomas, and the kick out of the middle, spot on to the chest of Zurha.
Well, really nice response, but that's what you want when you're coming out of the centre. Get shoulders out. You want someone presenting at you, drawing the attention. We said at the other end we wanted a Rewald or a Lynch to come out. Zurha was the man. Shoulders out, chest out, arms out. He demanded the footy, and the kick was absolutely beautiful.
He kicked their last goal at the 15-minute mark of the second quarter. This for his fourth. Squeezes it home. Much needed goal for North Melbourne. Gives them a little bit of breathing space once again on the Triple M IGA Liquor scoreboard. They're 6-7-43, the Tigers. 5-6-36, 16 minutes gone.
Well, Harvey Norman replay, we get a perfect look at it from behind the goals. Just a crisp centre clearance, and that kick was absolutely delightful. Zurha didn't even engage his man in Grimes, just let out too much foot speed. A metre separation was good enough, and that kick laced him out. Centre clearances, feels like North Melbourne have been clearly dominant this afternoon, Ethan.
Yeah, certainly have 10-1 North Melbourne's way, the centre clearances so far.
So a 7-point margin in favour of the Kangaroos. 17 gone in the third term. Zurha has 4, having a big night at the MCG. For McDonald's, Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks Footy. Campbell up against Nankervis. Big centre bounce coming up. The Tigers have been coming all quarter. Nankervis tries to step around Campbell, wasn't having any of that, but Nankervis will get the footy out, wants to step in and get the handball out. His kick was affected and went straight back to Campbell, who dropped an easy one. Went back, tackled by Cotchin underneath the pack, and there's 18 players jumping on top of that, but the umpire's pinged. He's pinged Campbell for holding the footy, and Nankervis has the last laugh. Turns around on the left foot, pumps one inside forward 50, looking for Lynch, got out the back. Good handball. They found Feathers Walker. Feathers Walker just coughed it up. Opportunity for the Tigers. Rioli's going to stream in and kick a goal and bring it back to 1 point. Rioli's first goal of his career, and a nice moment for that young man. 42 plays 43. Tigers by a point. North Melbourne by a point, I should say.
Yeah, fantastic reward for effort. Looks like he's really got the pace of the game as it's gone on. Quarter one, a little bit scratchy in the side for his pressure. Saw the beautiful moment on the Richmond socials throughout the week of Dimmer announcing that he would be in the side, brought the young fella to tears. And his ability so far just to get himself involved in the game on the back of some good pressure, as we see here on the Harvey Norman replay. He was the first tackle, he was the second tackle. He was on Turner, then Walker, followed up his good work, tracking the ball into the open goals. And the Tigs, well, they loved it, came from everywhere to get around him. Fantastic moment, well done. Hopefully one of many, many goals throughout his career.
He's been rewarded for some really good form in the VFL, Maurice Rioli. In that video you were talking about, Days, Damien Hardwick spoke about that. 8 of his 10 games this year in the VFL, he's had 5 or more tackles. And he's rewarded with a goal this time for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M Rocks Footy. Good bounce by the umpire. Davies Uniac takes it clean out of the middle. His kick, though, finds the extra in Floston. And now they look to play the outer side. Richmond, Ralph Smith pops a handball over the top to Parker. Driving by, outer side wing. Lynch, arms out in front, takes a nice mark.
Thank you.
Tarrant did just enough to hold him up.
What are Lynch's numbers for Triple M Red Z Lending?
Tom Lynch, 3 disposals. That was his first mark for the game.
Red Z Lending, loans for the self-employed as Lynch kicks to the pocket. Coleman Jones had one hand on. Thomas took on a couple of Richmond tackles. Got slung over the boundary line, and that might have saved him in the end. Thrown in, right forward pocket. 20 minutes gone, third quarter. It's the Kangaroos by a point. IGA Liquor scoreboard.
They've lost their run, the Kangaroos. They lead by a point. Boundary throw in. Goldstein won it down. to the left-hand side, and Zeeble was on the end of it. High ball towards centre wing. Zurhaas kicked 4, lays the tackle on this occasion. And the ball on centre wing will have a ball up. 42, the Tigers. 43, the Kangaroos. Who did win that game of soccer up there that played this morning?
Canada got it done, Brownie, in an upset over the Swedes.
5 and 3. So Parker just waltzes out of traffic. Kicks the ball inside forward 50. Tarrant under pressure. They have to pick it up. He's got Lynch on his hammer. Did well, Tarrant, in the end. Got the handball out. They need to be clean here, the Kangaroos, and they're not. Opportunity for the Tigers. A big tackle laid. And we'll have a ball up and they lock it in.
Thanks, Trent. Thanks. Right.
Coming up tonight, depending on where you're listening, the showdown for our South Australian audience, St Kilda and Sydney to do battle as well at Marvel Stadium. Is a bit happening after this, Days?
Yeah, and the big Nank just throwing his weight around there on a smaller opponent in Dumont. Absolutely levelled him. A little bit of remonstration, but the boys have separated now.
Triple M Harvey Norman replay. Goldstein dropped the footy. Prestia trying to make them pay for it. Baker handballing off. Now Daniel Rioli, 55 out. Handballed underground for Baker, who didn't follow up. Eventually won it. Got it to Parker, who turns around and fires from 45. The Tigers take the lead at the MCG in what's been a sensational third quarter for them. They're 7-6-48. North Melbourne have got a problem. They're 6-7-43. Triple M RJ Liquor scoreboard.
Yes, and they're not lost on the Tigers there. The fumble from Taron Thomas has been fantastic all afternoon, and there's a little bit of afters going on here, getting right into him. But the Tigs, they're coming. It's on the back of their pressure, their ability to force North into error. 2, 3, 4 men in the tackle, that Richmond brand of footy that we've come to love and know. They're getting it done, and on the back of that, their turnover game's going. They're humming. They're starting to hit the scoreboard.
Yeah, Red Z leading stats. Richmond's pressure up to 207 for the quarter. It was in the 160s to half-time. Jack Graham, he's laid 6 of those tackles, most on the ground. Number 1 ranked player on the field so far with 22 disposals.
Todd Goldstein, I want to see the replay of that one anytime shortly. Sarah Ollie, Bob Jane T-Marts.
News just in from the MRO. So a $3,000 fine for Joel Selwood. His bump was graded as careless, low and high, but the big one, it's 2 weeks for Toby Green for his fend off to the throat of Patrick Dangerfield. His bump, his elbow, I should say, categorised as careless conduct, high impact and high contact.
That is big news for the Giants, just sitting inside the 8 at the moment, and Simpkin danced around 4 of them with the best step in the competition, and he got it to Larkey. Just repeat that news, Sarah Ollie, for Bob Jane T-Marts.
The big news is Toby Green has been offered a 2-match ban for his fend off to the throat of Patrick Dangerfield.
Well,
would you be fighting that for Toby Green?
I'd be going straight to the tribunal. I think there's a big slip involved from Danger as he came in to make the tackle that probably meant that it went a lot higher than the intended area of probably the chest that Green was going for.
Larkey, he's missed another one, has he? He has. He's pushed it wide. Through for one behind. I can't get my head around a 2-week suspension for that. I know some people will say it's Toby Green, he deserves it, he does all the time, but how in this AFL landscape is that 2 weeks? I've got no idea.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, and sure we'll be speaking a lot about it for the rest of the week.
Maybe that's the problem. It was Toby Green, and he's probably graded that way. It shouldn't be. Revolt marks it right half forward, gives to Ralph Smith. He tries to drill a pass. Simpkin dropped it. Parker followed up. He's already kicked one. His eyes are darting around. Goes back by hand to Revolt from 40 metres out. Left foot kick goes over the head of Prestia into the breadbasket of Baker, and the Tigers have got another one. Whatever Damien Hardwick said at half-time, it's worked, because Richmond have worked their way to a 10-point lead. 8-6. Plays 6-8, Triple M RJ Liquor scoreboard. Proudly local, proudly independent.
Well, this one just on the back of a really poor miss up the other end. Larkey it was. He's missed a few this evening, but really good play. And again, just their pressure, they're swarming. They're putting the North Melbourne defence and the midfield under pressure they haven't felt for the first half of this game. And on the back of it, they're getting some really, really good looks. Just back to the Toby Green one. As Duck always says, it's always the outcome of what happens. So the Selwood incident, probably a worse look in terms of what actually he did, taking a hip to the head of Sam Taylor. Taylor gets up, plays out the game. Unfortunately for Green, he ends up with an elbow to the throat. I reckon, in my opinion, completely unintentional. But Dangerfield goes to hospital. The look is a lot worse, hence the outcome, 2 weeks.
Graded careless, that was the issue. So for McDonald's Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy. The Tigers are rocking at the MCG. 6 of the 7 goals this quarter. And they trail by 26. They're now in front by 10. Kangaroos in front. Larky owes him a couple because he's missed 3 easy ones, and he's tackled to the ground. We'll have a ball up. 4 minutes 27 to go before three-quarter time. Kangaroos badly need a goal. Pressure gauge this quarter. Ethan?
Pressure gauge 208 for the Tigers, just 173 for North Melbourne.
That's huge turnaround in this game. They'll have another ball up.
Thanks, Dylan.
44 plays 54. So the umpire puts the Sheeran in the air. Zerha tried to run through, couldn't take it. Vlostone was a brick wall, swept the handball wide to Baker, the last goal scorer. Got it back to his captain in Cochin, who then went back to Baker, hemmed in on the boundary. Sharp work, got around Marnie. Standing start by Sydney Stack, could only get it as far as Feathers Walker. Run and carry. McDonald wanted to get it out to Hall, missed him. Davies Uniac got him though. Hall back to McDonald, another one to Goldstein. Inside forward 50, the Kangaroos, the lead from Stevenson. Got it on the bounce and then was tackled to the ground. Eventually got it over the top to Marnie. Kept the ball in. Short ball found Taylor. Well, persistent work by the Kangaroos, and they badly need this.
Yeah, fantastic work from Jaden Stevenson down there on the boundary line. He took the ball. His man got him, ball and all, but good enough to farm a handball out. Harvey Norman replay to Marnie, and Marnie walked the tightrope. Really nice presence of mind just on the outside of the boot to pull the kick. Good execution, tough kick to make, but good enough to hit the man. Taylor Lace out.
Missed some easy ones today, the Kangaroos. Just has to kick this. 6 of the last 7 going to the Tigers. Taylor, 20 out. Umpire does a lot of work, but he's happy. Fist in the air. Kangaroos players get around him, and they get one back. 4-point margin. Tigers in front. 8-6-54. Kangaroos 7-8-50. Triple MIJ Liquor scoreboard. Proudly local, proudly independent.
Yeah, well, this has been the growth of the North Melbourne Footy Club. Once they got that turnover off half-back, Feathers Walker it was, their ability to just absorb the Richmond pressure that's coming. They haven't been able to do it so well in this term so far, but on that occasion, their ability to know that they had an extra handball, and finally found the man out. I think a Simpkin it was, and good enough to find Stevenson, who good enough to take and absorb that pressure, rather than just accepting the tackle, taking it out of bounds, the easy option. Fought through it, gave it off to Marnie, and Marnie with a really nice piece of footwork along that boundary line.
9 games before this year, Curtis Taylor. He's played 16 of 19. Really starting to see him grow. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. North Melbourne get it back to 4 points the difference. Nankervis slaps it towards Graham, although he'd already left. So McDonald handballing to Davies Uniac, who's swarmed on by Nankervis. Graham takes the advantage and pumps it long. Revolt the target. Lynch stayed down. He picks up the crumbs. Tried to handball to Morris Rioli. Zeeble took on the tackle towards the boundary line. Lynch shovels it to Coleman Jones. He got something on it. It'll do. Umpires are going to have a look at this.
Mate, I believe it's a goal. Can we just check if the ball hits the goalpost? Of course. Score here.
Triple M Harvey Norman replay. Your leaders in technology with a huge range of laptops to suit any budget. Shop online with contactless click and collect available. Looking to see whether the footy hit the post.
Yeah, well, it's going to be a tough one. They've got the Snicko technology, do they not? So if the umpire's worried about it hitting the pole, I'm not sure why that wouldn't be your first port of call. Because those angles are not very good.
It's going to tell us nothing.
Almost less than that. It was a nice finish if it is called a goal. I think it may have been somewhat accidental as he was trying to pull the kick to the hotspot.
Looking at these angles, we can see there is no deviation as the ball passes the post and no spike on edge. Decision on scoreboard.
So Snicko shows nothing. Callum Coleman Jones. We wait and we wait. It's official. Immediate answer by the Tigers, and they push it back to 10 points the difference. Triple MIJ Liquor scoreboard.
Yeah, well, just fantastic work from the big Nank in the centre of the ground. A huge tackle he laid, and on the back of that, the Tigs took the advantage. Finally, they're getting some ball inside forward 50 with some speed on it. Although it still wasn't the prettiest of entries, it was quick, it was fast, and the North Melbourne midfielders couldn't get back. They couldn't get set. And that's a really, really handy finish for a bloke who's 200 centimetres. I'm still going to give him the benefit of the doubt, but
I don't think he meant it, Daisy.
Yeah, okay, you're a truer judge than I am. I was going to stick up for the big fella, but there's no way in hell he meant that.
Oh, I think he had Pretty sure he had Prestia in the goal square he was trying to get it to, and as the tackle was laid, it affected his kick, but Lux of Fortune went through. Big tackle by Nankervis on centre wing, though. Set up the goal. Tigers by 10. Kick 7 in this quarter to 2. So bounce in the middle for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy. The Tigers are everywhere at the moment. The umpire balls it up. Lights ablaze here at the MCG.
Watch the knees. I'm just saying, watch the knee going up.
Umpire said, watch the knees to Big Nang. And I think Nang's going to take much notice of the umpire. Seems to be a man who does whatever he pleases, I would have thought. Simpkin, left foot towards Marnie, dropped the footy. Prestia, that should be holding the ball. And it is. Good tackle by Marnie. Down to 2 minutes. The Kangaroos had loved one before three-quarter time.
If Marnie can get it moving quickly, they'd be a chance. Now Curvis is trying to get back in the hole. Now he is there. Marnie's going to kick in that direction. And Curvis couldn't get a run at it. Zerha did pretty well to keep him away from it. Ford taken off the ball. Short goes to ground and drags the footy in with him.
It's amazing. North Melbourne looked every bit a really good side in the first half, and then looked every bit the 18th side in this quarter.
Yeah, well, it's credit to the pressure that the Tigs have put them under in the first term. Like any club, when you let them do as they please, they'll make you look second rate. And then this second term, the Tigs have almost reversed the tables.
They lead by 10 points, Richmond. Inside 2 minutes before three-quarter time. Baker sees Zerha over for a throw-in. Some of the Triple M Red Z lending stats, Heath. Loans for the self-employed.
Jai Simpkin up to 29 disposals, 12 already in this term. 11 of those contested, 5 clearances as well.
Reverse the tables or turn the tables?
Well, they turned the reversal of the first term's tables. You know what I meant.
Seabus Super Special comments. Daisy Thomas doing a great job. Kangaroos an opportunity inside forward 50. Zerha Larkey, 1 by 2. Zerha comes up with it. Couldn't be tackled. Got the ball out to McDonald. Back towards Jamont. Jamont into the pocket. The lead comes out from Ford. And another opportunity goes begging. The ball bounces out of bounds. We'll have a boundary throw in. 1 minute 9 to go. Triple M Harvey Norman replay. Both coaches in the box looking tense. Boundary throw in. Goldstein brings it out of the ruck, but got pinged for a push in the back. Looks at the umpire and says, "You're kidding." The free kick will go to Nankervis.
Nankervis has been the one who's lifted in the quarter. His intensity around the footy, he's sort of in that Mumford mould, isn't he? Just wanting to hurt people, throw his body around. The big boys, I don't get any smaller as the game goes on, so good to see that he's been the one to inspire his team.
Daisy with all the Triple M Seabus Super Special comments. Nankervis long to the members' wing, and Bonner belts it out of bounds for a throw-in, right in front of Sarah Ollie for Bob Jane team up. Is that twice she's blanked us today now?
I'm not going to say you need to start taking this personal, but I wouldn't be mind just maybe ringing senior management on your way home.
Yeah, I thought Sarah and I were tight. Maybe not.
My mic on. Oh, there we go. The mic's on. I'm going, turn my mic on. No, I'm not blanking you, Jack.
What's happening down there?
Well, Tigers certainly getting on top, but North, the spirits are really great. Just with that bonus spoil, everyone on the bench got up and was clapping him, so they've certainly got high spirits still.
10-point lead of the Tigers. Tarrant Thomas breaks away from the stoppage, kicks to 50 metres out from North Melbourne's goal. Ford got the arms free, handballs to Marnie. He couldn't find Simpkin. Marnie's still working for it, but Richmond, just through sheer weight of numbers, get the ball back.
They go wide to Coleman Jones, kicked a couple today. Kicked their first one. They kicked 2 in the first half, the Tigers. 7 in this quarter. And they lead by 10. Down to 9 seconds, so I don't think there'll be another score as ball gets to centre wing. Rewalt couldn't mark it. Uniac got it out to Hall, counting down. What a big quarter of football that has been from the Richmond Footy Club. They turned a 20-point deficit into a 10-point lead at three-quarter time. 9-6-60. The Kangaroos at 7-8-58 will be back after the three-quarter time break. Daisy Thomas will break down what happened in that third quarter. The McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy.
That quarter for IGA Liquor. Proudly local, proudly independent.
For Macca's 50th birthday,
Triple M rocks footy.
The Mac family has arrived at Macca's. Get a free limited edition glass with every medium or large Mac family
Hi,
meal.
it's Marty Sheargold from Triple M's Marty Sheargold Show, and right now, Triple M rocks football And I'm back Monday morning from 6. Daisy Thomas.
Hey, you know that bloke who holds the target up behind the goals when Melbourne plays?
Yeah.
What were you looking at when you were kicking a goal?
Most of my goals were on the runs.
Would the bullseye help?
Probably not, but he thinks he's doing a great job.
Really
He's cracked it. It's going so well, no other team does it. So.
Triple M's Marty Sheargold Show. Weekdays from 6. Or hear it anytime on the new Listener app.
To celebrate 50 years of Maccas, we're introducing the Mac family. And with every medium or large Mac Junior, Big Mac or Grand Big Mac meal, you'll get one of 6 free Maccas glasses, but only for a limited time. Available after 10:30am while stocks last.
G'day, Dave O'Neill here for Choice Hotels. 2021 is the year of the long weekend. And what do Australia's best regional destinations have in common? Well, I've already said it, haven't I? Choice Hotels. So get out and explore your beautiful state. Whether you're looking for a base for fast-paced fun or rest and relaxation, Choice Hotels has accommodation to suit every holiday and every traveller. So you're spoiled for choice. Came up with that line myself, eh? Not bad. It's the year of the long weekend, people. Get amongst it with choicehotels.com.au.
Open your ears to Essential Vinyl, exclusive to Listener.
Because we hadn't recorded together yet, and we weren't really sure what was going to happen.
From the killer classics to modern-day masterpieces, these are the albums you need to own.
I've been writing songs that I really liked, but I wasn't challenging myself.
Listener, radio, podcasts, music, news. Download the new app and listen for free.
Listener.
The Royal Melbourne Hospital Home Lottery is giving you the chance at that life-changing moment. Imagine living mortgage-free in a $4 million Matsay home in leafy Camberwell with $200,000 in the bank. And that's just the top prize. With over 17,000 prizes up for grabs, you've got a 1 in 15 chance to win. Order your tickets now and support the Royal Melbourne. We're always there when it matters most. Visit rmhhomelottery.com.au. Permit 10265.
Sheen Panel Service. If you've had a car accident, call Sheen first. We'll handle your repair process from start to finish and provide an accident replacement vehicle at no cost to you. Rest assured, we use genuine parts and provide you with a lifetime guarantee on all repairs. So remember, call Sheen first on 1300 Repair. We'll take care of the rest at one of our 26 locations across Victoria. T's and C's apply. Sheen Panel Service.
An important message from the Victorian Government. There are new coronavirus exposure sites across Victoria. Exposure sites are changing rapidly. If you have visited any of the exposure sites, you must follow the health advice about getting tested and quarantining. For more information on exposure sites and where to get tested, visit coronavirus.vic.gov.au. Authorised by the Victorian Government, Melbourne.
Sparkies, Beacon Trade is here to support you. Open from 7:30 weekdays with special trade prices, free delivery and a huge range of lights, fans and electrical accessories at over 100 Beacon stores.
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for Beacon Trade. Supporting Sparkies with 7:30am opening hours, trade prices, click and collect and free delivery from over 100 Beacon lighting stores.
Massive quarter of football for the Richmond Footy Club. They turned a 20-point deficit into a 10-point lead at three-quarter time for McDonald's Dream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy. They kicked 7 goals to 2 in that third term. As I go to the back row to get all the stats from Ethan Meldrum on the Triple M Red Z Lenders.
Well, it was all the pressure from Richmond. Their pressure factor in the end of that quarter was 217 to North Melbourne's 181. 7 more tackles for the Tigers, 22 to 15. Also a lot better by foot when it's 75% in that term. Bumps Richmond up at the moment to 9th on the live ladder as well. So it was a very important quarter for them. 6 of their 7 goals from turnover as well. Leading ball winners so far, Jack Graham has 23 for the Tigers. Lost and Prestia 20 apiece for North Melbourne. Davies, Uniac and Simpkin both with 29.
Well, the impressive turnaround for mine, Brownie, was their ability to take away the uncontested marks of North Melbourne across that half-back line. We saw in the first half their ability to spread the ground, and when you do have the ball and when you're chipping it around, obviously the ball's not live, so you have no opportunity to apply pressure. They took away that from North Melbourne. They kept the ball live. They forced them into handball chains, and on the back of that, Richmond were able to get their pressure game going. They also sent someone to Aaron Hall. He only had the 3 disposals for the quarter, so he was the man who was overlapping and getting that ball in, punching it in long and strong and turning the Richmond defence around. So a really good coaching display there from Dimmer up in the coach's box. Now it's over to North Melbourne to see if they can respond respond, because that first half, they were electric, didn't really fire a shot in that third term.
10-point lead, season on the line for the Tigers. They're a game and a half out. Kangaroos, can they turn it around?
Well, if they can get their game going again like we saw in the first half, they certainly can. Their ability to score and turn that defence around and hit the scoreboard, but they've been inaccurate. They've missed some opportunities. Larky's missed a few of them. I don't know what he means to miss them, but on the back of a couple of those, the Tigs have gone end-to-end and scored themselves.
Sarah, Ollie, Bob Jane teammates down on the boundary.
Just to recap the big MRO news, Toby Green charged with striking Patrick Dangerfield. He's been offered a 2-week ban.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. Richmond looking to keep their September run alive, but they must win today at the MCG. Simpkin in the middle of the ground, handballs into space. Dumont picked it up and he was tackled as soon as he got it. And there's more of that pressure from Richmond days.
Yeah, they're really starting to swarm, aren't they? And again, it's just the ability to intercept, get a little fingernail in, cause the ball to stay live, not let North get a clear takeaway.
Taron Thomas takes it away. Bombs to right half forward. Clean bowl not offering a shot forward. And Floston works back against the boundary line. His handball is out of bounds and over for a throw-in. Still to come tonight. St Kilda and Sydney at Marvel Stadium. And Adelaide will do battle against Port Adelaide in the showdown. Earlier today, Gold Coast Suns by 19 points over Carlton. Dumont 55 metres out, looking for a target. It bounces off the chest of Larky. Amani handballing towards the boundary line. He's got Davies Uniacke running away from goal. Misses everything. Looked okay off the big build-up.
It came off nice and high, nice and wide. He had the handball option to Stevenson over the top. Absolutely torched him. And I'll tell you who doesn't like that. Jaden Stevenson does not like that. He's still remonstrating.
So Mansell to do the kicking in. It's himself about a 10-metre arc and barrels one out of the defensive 50. Ball comes down to ground level. Nankervis was in there. Ball flipped out the back. Kangaroos an opportunity. They feed it back to Hall. They need a big quarter from him. Chips it inside forward 50 to Marnie going back with the flight, and he marks it. Little man. Has he got the journey from here, Dace?
I think he does, and he'll certainly back himself. Well, yeah, he's been robbed a little bit by the man on the mark.
Hall around the back, gives it back to Marnie now from 40. Bends it back, Marnie. Got the first one of the last quarter for the Kangaroos. So a big blow early. Back to 4 points, and the sound guy comes in. 60 to 56, Tigers in front. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
A little bit harshly done by the umpire there was Marnie. He took the mark maybe about 45 metres out. By the time the mark was set, he would have had to kick it over the man at 49. So Hall wrapped around, sensing the opportunity as only Aaron Hall does. And, well, they worked the old 1-2, and it was a really nice finish. Harvey Norman replay, pinned himself into the pocket, ran himself into a bit of mischief, but good enough to get himself out of it with some good skills. A bit of an indifferent afternoon, but that's a nice moment for the young fella.
Jack Marnie, the all-important first goal of the last quarter. North Melbourne 18th on the table, 4 wins for the season. Their average losing margin since round 10 has only been 22 points a game. Early on in the season, they were getting belted, 53. So things have changed under new coach David Noble. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. The clearance workers in first class today. Hall misses the target by hand though at half back. Opens the door for Revolt. He couldn't take it with him on the first go. Second go picks it up. Left foot ball inside 50's okay for Parker. Handballing to Bolton. Gathers it off the ground and snaps quickly. But misses. The Tigers extend the lead by 1-5. 9-7 to 8-8 on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. 3.5 minutes gone.
Aaron Hall straight down the middle of the ground. One by Ralph Smith, fisted it away. Tigers opportunity. Ralph Smith again, underground handball. Rewald taps it on. Brilliant play by the Tigers. Bolton misses 2 in a row. In fact, that missed by 2 sets of goals. He was tackled as he kicked it, and it went wide. Good pressure by the Kangaroos. Tarrant to bring it back in. Got a short man there in Zeeble. Zeeble elects not to play on. Goes back over the mark. That man's Graham. So the Kangaroos with the first goal of the last quarter. It's a 5-point lead to the Tigers, 61 to 56. Low scoring slog here at the MCG. So there was 9 goals kicked in that third quarter, 7 of them by the Tigers. Marnie's handball was fisted down. Cochin, left-hand handball to Asprey, back to Vlostone.
He looks inboard.
Stand. Line.
Mansell kicks barely 15 to Nankervis.
Play on.
He goes wider again to left half back. Dylan Grimes has it. The Tigers patient, work their way through. Now Graham has a bit of space on the wing. But Jack Graham's Red Zeds, Heath.
Jack Graham, 25 disposals, number one ranked player on the ground so far.
Stack took on the tacklers and lost the ball, but did really well to get it back. Dumont was away. Stack laid the tackle, and Graham sends Richmond deep into the pocket. The target was Revolt, and Zeeble knocks it out of bounds for a throw-in.
Yeah, fantastic effort there by Sydney Stack. Got himself into a pickle. The turnover was there, but he didn't dwell on it. Got straight back up, laid the tackle, and got the man holding the ball. Well done to him.
Sarah, Ollie, Bob Jane, Team Arts.
The Giants are on the front foot. They've released a statement saying that they will challenge the two-match ban handed to Toby Green. They said, "We firmly believe this was a football action and doesn't warrant a suspension."
Sarah, Ollie with all the news down on the boundary line. Bob Jane, Team Arts, buy 3, get 1 free. Instant cash back, Bridgestone, Continental, Pirelli, all the best there, and many more. bobjane.com.au. So from the restart, Jamont got pole driven in the ground only moments ago. Ralph Smith went back, the ball was touched. Umpire called play on at ground level. Kangaroos opportunity, Simpkin, underground ball bouncing one, Nankervis stood in the way, got it to Cochin, centre half forward, Rioli, a juggler, 55 out, he goes back, lead starting everywhere. Where's he going to go? Players in the pocket with the hand up. He goes into that position now. Bolton the lead. Rewalt there. Edwards over the back. Called play on. Ball at ground level. Kangaroos through Davies Uniacke. A short one. He finds Taron Thomas.
He's going to hold it up. They trail by 5 points, North Melbourne. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. Supporting Sparkies with 7:30am opening hours, trade prices, click and collect, and free delivery from over 100 Beacon Lighting stores.
Barry Scott, 5 metres to me, please.
They just can't get past halfway at the moment, Dave.
No, they can't, and it's well done to Richmond. They're set up defensively really well. They've stopped that switch that was spreading them thin through the midfield. On the back of that, they're keeping North Melbourne on one side of the ground.
And Floston goes all the way back to the centre circle for Grimes. Now they want to try and play the members' side of the MCG. Short, wheels around Larkey. How easy was that? And it all opens up for Jaden Short, 60 metres out. His kick was touched on the way through. Dow dodges all. Banana on the right foot. Hits the belly of the ball and kicks it across the face, out of bounds, on the full.
Ream hot water. Ask your plumber to install a ream. Steady, hot and strong. It was a nice step by Dow, but just couldn't quite finish the job. To Davies Uniacke. This is a big ball. Dangerous ball, but a good ball in the middle of the ground. And he found Turner. Now they've got some space. He goes wide. Bonner needs to get it. He's got players ahead of him. If he can get the ball now, does to Taylor. Taylor into the middle of the ground. Hall got some space to move, but he elects to go back over the mark. Well done by the Tigers. They close down the space again. So Hall just ambles away. He's got a player at the corner of his eye. And Mackay, short ball. Davies Uniacke started this chain with a good kick on centre wing. Marks it on the logo. You got Aaron Hall in the middle of the ground. Short ball finds him. It's a slow build up by the Kangaroos. They did this well in the first half. Now they get the ball to Simpkin at centre half forward. This next kick is the one they've done well for most of the day. Simpkin, low darting ball. Larky an opportunity. Fist to the ground level. Tigers have got the numbers. Handball comes out. Ralph Smith with one into the middle of Edwards.
And away they go through the middle. Not a lot to work with ahead for Graham, so has to look wider for Baker. There's 55 out from goal. He's got his forward starting to stream back in numbers, but North Melbourne's defenders do the same. Dow hugs the boundary line with his kick, and that's a good mark taken by Graham.
Yeah, fantastic work rate. He was the man who came streaming through the middle. Good awareness to go sideways rather than long. Robbie Tarrant, he dropped the anchor out the back. That's why he was forced to look elsewhere.
And Floston kicks to left half forward. A beautiful kick into space. Has Sydney Stack. Left foot, chipping ball to Edwards. He couldn't mark Bolton. Flashing through. Handballs to Ralph Smith. Left forward pocket. Hoiks it over his shoulder for a goal. Wonderful finish from Hugo Ralph Smith. 10-7, 67 the Tigers. North Melbourne 8-8-56 as we come up to 10 minutes gone in the final quarter. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Well, just fantastic work rate from Jack Graham, working through the middle of the ground, sensing that he couldn't go long, put himself under a little bit of pressure, getting the overlap handball, hoping and wishing that there was a Richmond forward who'd reset the ground. Wasn't to be, so he went wide, he went to Baker, and then he was the man again who ran on, took that mark. But what the Tigs are doing really well, when they do get held up, they're almost playing soccer-style football around the arc. Their ability to switch it, go backwards. We saw Vlostone only moments ago, happy to go backwards to the centre of the ground to try and draw those North defenders out who are parking the bus down there. On the back of that, they're getting some good looks. Probably not conventional looks, but on the back of them, they're making the most of their opportunities.
Jack Graham, number one ranked player on the ground, 28 disposals, his second best return in his AFL career, 34 pressure acts as well. That's 11 more than anyone on the ground.
McDonald's room hot water. Triple M rocks footy. Tigers by 11. What have the Kangaroos got? MCG, Twilight, inside forward 50. The Tigers go. Rewalt marks it. Really good. Really good mark in front of Bonner. Had to use the body and now goes back to put them for a game high for the Tigers, 17 points in front.
Just down to Sarah Ollie for Bob Jane T-Marts. Is there a little bit of precipitation just starting to fall?
Yeah, a light little spittle, I would call it, Days. It's actually looking quite pretty against the lights, but that's where I'm at if I'm finding that pretty.
Red sky at night, Taylor's delight. Here comes Rewalt. He'll kick from just inside the 50. He kicked one in the second term. This for number 2. Slides it and slides it nicely. Started left, broke back right. And a good kick by Rewalt. And the Tigers now by 17 points, 73 to 56. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Yeah, well, he hasn't had the biggest of afternoons, but he loves playing against North Melbourne. He's kicked multiple goals in 14 of his last 15 games against the Kangaroos. Only finished goalless one occasion. That was round 14, all the way back in 2007. So he's made the most of his opportunity, only a handful of possessions. But the Tigs are now starting to really flex. Sweating on the turnover, still on the back of their pressure. It's been fantastic, but they're getting some really good field position and getting some repeat inside 50s, giving those forwards who've been starved all afternoon a couple of really nice looks.
Just having a look at the Triple M Harvey Norman replay out of the goal square. Rewalt was on Bonner. You'd have to ask how that happens after Bonner got obliterated earlier in the year by Jordan DeGoey. He looked down and Tarrant sitting on the bench at the moment. So to get Tarrant a rest, it's exposed Bonner and they get an easy goal out of the middle of Rewalt.
Triple M Harvey Norman replay, your leaders in technology with a huge range of laptops to suit any budget. Shop online with contactless click and collect available. That rain looks like it's starting to get a little heavier. Bolton, tumbly ball, revolt it, bounced off his chest. Front and centre crummers everywhere. Parker off by hand to Prestia, and the Tigers put this one in the book. Second half dominance, 12-7-79. North Melbourne look all but gone now, 8-8-56.
Well, that's certainly going to make it mighty hard and just an unconventional avenue to go one more time. We see on the Harvey Norman replay another on the back of centre clearances. They're getting a fair touch up on that 10-1, I think it was at half time. But they've got some dominance there and just finding ways, finding different avenues to go with Lynch and Rewalt not having the biggest of evenings. Their ability of their smalls to contribute, multiple goal kickers on the night, different avenues. And now the North Melbourne Footy Club, well, they're starting to look like the 18th side that we've come to know.
Triple M Red Z lending stats, loans for the self-employed. Shea Bolton in this last quarter.
Shea Bolton in this last term for Triple M Red Z lending stats has had the 4 disposals, 15 for the game, chucking 5 score involvements as well.
For McDonald's and Remont Water, Triple M rocks footy. The Tigers have got the last 3. They lead by 23 points at the MCG. Game high for them. North Melbourne led by 26. After Zurhar kicked his third in the second term, and since then it's been a Richmond domination.
Not 15, play on!
The umpire calls not 15, play on, so what can the Kangaroos do? Still plenty of time. 12 minutes as the ball goes out of bounds. Good enough and long enough if the Kangaroos are good enough.
There's plenty of time, and they're going to be forced to go fast and go through the corridor, and that's where they have given the Richmond defence some issues. But at the minute, they can't get their hands on the footy. They're getting beaten around the ball, and they're losing all that field position. So it's transition, not from only centre forward. They've got to go the entire length of the field, which has been the issue. Daisy with all the Triple M Cbus Super Special comments, delivering consistent long-term return for members. Cbus for all of us. Grimes tackles Bailey Scott near the interchange bench, and Cochin picks the ball up off the ground. Richmond just seem to now, as has been their trademark when they're up and running, always have 1 or 2 extra at the contest. Floston
Handballs to Short. He goes over the top. Graham got it to Cochin. Only Justin. He moves it forward to Stack. Numbers again everywhere. Coleman Jones. Bouncing ball, not a good one, and Goldstein picked it up well.
Brilliant pick up by the big man, but the pressure from Richmond's good, and they get the footy back. Prestia. Quick, slick handball to Coleman Jones. Another one back out to Dow. Dow, some fancy footwork, Fred Astaire style, into the middle of the ground. Good kick too, and Cochin covering a bit of ground. Ford, try to drive him back. Short ball inside forward 50, and it's a good one. And he finds Baker. So Richmond doing as they please at the moment, and Baker can put them pretty much 5 goals up and this game to be over.
Yeah, and again, just some really good composure this time. They're swarming with numbers around the footy, so when they do win it back, they're having the ability to chain their handballs, chain some possession and get some looks going inside forward 50. It wasn't the most conventional play. Coleman Jones had a bit of a mare. He had 3 options. He chose the 4th one and just kicked it straight to Goldstein. But if you're not going to give it to a ruckman, you may as well kick it back to the opposition one.
Not a bad night by Baker. 21 disposals, and now 2 goals for that man. Triple M Red Z leading stats, loans for the self-employed. Not a bad night, Ethan Meldrum.
Yeah, Liam Baker, 22 disposals, 7 of those contested, 7 score involvements. That's the equal most on the ground, as well as that second goal, going at 70% by foot as well.
What's this mean for the live ladder, if you could please, Ethan? We know that Richmond, they've got the Giants next week, who are in 8th position at the minute, and then the Hawks to finish off their home and away season.
So the Tigers dropped as low as 12th on the live ladder, with them up in front at the moment by 29 points, up to 9th, just half a game behind GWS in 8th, and North Melbourne down in 18th, a game and percentage below Hawthorn in 17th.
With Sydney to come next week for the Kangas, and they'll finish off, as Daisy said, with the Crows this stage at the Adelaide Oval.
Yeah, they've been gallant, and they've formed over the past sort of 6-7 weeks against the Cats, the Bombers, the Lions, the Giants and the Dogs. They've turned it around from what they were dishing up in the first half, but just as we see, when the pressure comes on, they're still not there. They go back to the old habits, aren't able to complete their plays like they were in the first term.
For McDonald's and Ream Hotwater, Triple M Rocks footy. Clearance win for the Tigers. Prestia links up with a handball to Thompson Dow, and then Daniel Riola, who's enjoying playing behind the footy. That kick over the head, though, of its target. Loose ball is a win for North Melbourne. Goldstein. Handball was an awkward one for Davies Uniacke. Did pretty well. Got it back to Goldstein. And now Hall, who's had his influence quelled in the second half. No doubt about it. No mark paid for Rioli. Here's Stevenson. Tucks the footy under the arms. Gets inside 50. He sees a man at the top of the goal square. Larkey couldn't mark initially. And then the help comes for the Tigers, and Ralph Smith gets them out.
Lambert, half back, move it nicely. Down towards half forward to Coleman Jones. You'll get it on the bounce. Picked it up. Rioli runs past. Doesn't use him. Has to go backwards to Ralph Smith. So they had the fast break, but now slow down. 9.5 minutes to go. 29-point margin in favour of the Tigers. Ralph Smith from just backwards of centre wing. Kicks it to the 50. Goldstein in front position. Fisted it back. The ball got out the back. Bolton was good. Stepped inside. Handball to Rioli. He's already got one. It sits for him. Kick the second, young man. He doesn't. He just got it on the belly, and he knows he's let himself on that occasion. He thought he had an easy one for a second, and he puts it out of bounds on the full.
Have you seen his first game, Morris Rioli, Days?
Yeah, he certainly got the pace of it. He looked like he was a little bit off pace in that first term. He was missing a few tackles, a little bit late to the ball. But as the game's gone on, he's worked his way into it, now getting some opportunities out the back as this game goes on.
Turnover by Richmond at half forward. Taron Thomas has 2 bounces as he lopes down the broadcast wing. Handball's inboard to Stevenson. He's tackled as soon as he got it. Grimes closed down the space. Stevenson slapped it towards North Melbourne's goal, but there's Grimes once again. Works together with Parker. And Cochin labours after the ball. Picks it up near the interchange bench. Handballs to Graham as the pace has really started to come out of this game now. Floston works together with Thompson Dow. Showed a clean pair of heels. And then looks inside, tried to laser a pass to Bolton. Morris Rioli kicks it off the ground. It's rolling towards goal. Turner takes it over. Under enough pressure, according to the umpire, and it's Rush for a behind.
Paul does the quick kicking in. He's got a player on the outer side. It's a big long kick too, and on the end of this one's going to be Scott. He's got some space. He's got Stevenson on, gets the bounce. 80 from home. Larkey leads to the pocket. He'll get it on the bounce as well, and he absolutely makes a Mayor of it, Larky, hasn't had a great second half. And the Tigers get the footy back. Just about summed up North Melbourne's second half, that passage of play. 2 players out by 30 metres and the ball had to bounce to them, and then Larky stuffed it up.
And
So-
also to Richmond's credit there, it was Asprey who ran about 150 metres to cover and apply some pressure. So they've been fantastic in this second half. The Tigs with their pressure. North just giving them every opportunity to look good, though, with their errant ball use.
Dow starting to show some party tricks. He's got a few by the look of the young man. Game number 5. Free kick's going to go to the Tigers, to Liam Baker.
The brother of Paddy Dow, who's also getting into some nice form over at the Blues too, Brownie.
Talented family, Daisy. Shane Edwards, high ball. Bolton will be the flyer. Can't mark it. Went back. Got it at ground level. Banana goes wide. That could have been something nice. Out of bounds on the full. Free kick go to Tarrant. 7 minutes to go here at the MCG. What have we got coming up after this one?
That'll be you, Heater.
That'll be me. Adelaide, Port Adelaide for our Adelaide.
Not it off.
Adelaide versus Port Adelaide for our Adelaide listeners, and everyone else is going to St Kilda versus Sydney at Marvel Stadium.
Baz will be there, Big Tim, Kate McCarthy, Robbo, the Chew Man. Full team assembled. Full team assembled at the Adelaide Oval too.
He's a big eater, Baz.
Is he?
He's a big eater.
Just looks after the sponsors religiously, does he, Brownie? Just throws down those McDonald's burgers.
Loves the good people at McDonald's.
Yeah. Often says that he goes through the drive-through twice. So goes through orders, not quite enough, goes through again. So just a real company man, he's Baz.
Does a metro run and a regional run.
Yep.
Yeah.
And just been told he's not calling the night at all, so.
Is he not?
Nope.
There you go.
Will Ralston is going to be calling the night. Fine young man he is too, Will.
That's out of bounds for a throw in.
Doesn't eat as much as Baz.
Let's get down to the boundary for Bob Jane T-Mart. Sarah Ollie.
Ben Mackay is having his right buttock checked at the moment. The doctor and the physio is just having a bit of a chat to him.
Bob Jane T-Mart's buy 3, get 1 free. And instant cash back on Bridgestone, Continental, Pirelli and many more. bobjane.com.au.
Thank you. Stand.
Tigers free kick here. And Kane Lambert. 70 metres out from goal.
Stand.
Richmond happy to take their time here and make sure of it. The lead is 30 on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. Baker works back to the wing. Floston holds it up. Where do they sit in the scheme of things now, Daisy? I know they've just beaten the bottom team, but where have you got them leading into finals if they get there?
Yeah, well, if they do make that 8th spot, and the way I sort of see it at the minute, I don't think they'll be doing a hell of a lot of damage, to be completely honest, just with the way that they're playing. But they are the experienced wise heads, so the finals they're not going to be overawed. And if they can get someone, obviously it'll be in the bottom half of the draw. They'll have to do it the hard way. But if they can get some real confidence in these last couple of rounds, which is going to require them to do if they are going to make it into the finals, a good win against the Giants, who had a really good win against the Cats, and then a nice confidence booster against the Hawks late in the year. You just never know. You'd be a brave man to write them completely off if they do get there. But it would be mighty hard and a mighty great effort if they were to be super competitive and go for a couple of weeks.
Prestia from 55 metres out, pulls his kick, smart one too, into the pocket, all on his own, Toby Nankervis.
Yeah, a really clever position there from Big Nank. Often the ruckman goes to the goal line, and the opposition ruckman that is, or just the top of the square expecting the pull kick. The pull kick came, but it was completely to the other side of the ground, low, flat and hard, and Big Nank found himself on the smaller man in Marnie.
So he's in the left forward pocket. Tough shot for a left footer. And he misses. 13-9-87 the Tigers. The Kangas 8-8-56. 23 and a half minutes gone in the final quarter. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
So to run a few numbers there.
Quick transaction.
Jack, yeah, it was. The crypto world never sleeps. So the ball comes back out to the Tigers. They've owned the Kangaroos in this second half, inside forward 50. Edwards has been good, but on this occasion he gave the footy up to Davies Uniacke. Stepped inside to Aaron Hall, who slowed down since half-time. Zeeble. Now the run for McDonald in the middle of the ground. Back to Hall. Has a bounce. Has to retreat. Back to McDonald. That's been the play of the night since the second half. Has been a handball ground level and have to go retreating backward and all the way to centre wing. And they're on the fly through the middle, and now Jamont has to get it on centre wing. That's a good kick. Anderson onto the left foot, steps around, inside forward 50. And Vlostone's been a welcome return. Gets in front of Larkey, who's just dropped his head a little bit in this second half. Missed a couple of easy ones in that second quarter. Should have been kicked, and they probably should have been 6 goals up, but the Tigers at halfback.
They led by 26 at one stage in the second quarter, North Melbourne, but Richmond have just forced their way back into this game. Parker's been effective. Coleman Jones handballing to Parker, who tried to slap it on. Broadcast wing. Cochin's tap forward was clever. Now Prestia links up with Daniel Rioli, who slides forward. Grubby kick to Morris Rioli at centre half forward. He stood up in the tackle. Shimmy to handball free to Jack Graham. They're queuing up inside 50. He looks for the little kick to Ralph Smith.
Really nice involvement there from Morris Rioli. Just starting to see a little bit of his tricks as he feels a little bit more comfortable at the level there. Stepped around one, stood up in the other tackle. Got their play out as we see Marnie on the Harvey Norman replay. His right shoulder. It's held together with tape. He looks like he will be certainly done for the afternoon.
One of the great haircuts, Ralph Smith. I believe you ran with one of these at one point, Daisy.
Yeah, pioneer I was, Brownie.
Shaved at the sides.
And party at the back.
Real party at the back. Bit going on at the front too. From just inside 50, he hits the post.
It's a lot of posters today, Ethan. Triple M Red Z Lending, loans for self-employed.
That is the third poster for today.
That's a lot in a game of footy. What's the average?
I'll get back to you on that one, Brownie.
You were going to keep pushing, weren't you?
2 minutes 17 to go. St Kilda, Sydney coming up. The dulcet tones of Will Ralston will join us. So the Tigers out to Parker. Parker, high ball. Rewalt and Lynch. Both of them down there, good players, but down the ground level. Bonner stepped in and out of trouble, but then gave it straight back to Dow. And Dow marks it 45 out, right up against the boundary.
Yeah, did the professional thing, looked inboard to act like he was going to pass it off with absolutely no intention whatsoever. You said it before, Brownie, very baby-faced.
It looks like he's got some talent, 21 disposals, 10 contested for a small man, and is very good out of those 21, and he's got some tricks. He's got a nice step, he sells some candy, and that is a right foot gem, just goes across the face. Through for one behind, it looked like it was home. So 89 plays 56, the Tigers in complete control, Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Earlier today, the Suns were 19-point winners. There'll be a bit to talk about there in the next 24, 48 hours days with the Blues.
Yeah, another poor performance. Obviously really good last week against the Saints on the back of a really bad one against North Melbourne. So real inconsistency is the issue there, and well done to the Suns for responding after a near 100-point drubbing last week against the D's.
Just take the pressure off Stuart Dew for a week. Richmond hold it up. Coming up to 28 minutes to play.
Red Z Lending stats, 2.1 posters per game, Brownie, this season.
You know what the worst part about that is, Heath?
Wasn't even listening
to a word you said.
Sorry, I was just talking to the producer at the back.
2.1 posters per game this season, Brownie. So we're above the AFL average.
Certainly are.
It deserved more, that stat, Heath, I thought.
They're about 30% above.
Red Z Lending, loans for the self-employed.
Thanks, Taryn. Stand.
A 33-point lead to Richmond.
Stay out.
Sydney Stack late in the game has been good for them again. He kicks long from half-back. It's off hands for Baker. Siren will sound any second as Lynch is barreled down by Anderson. Graham drives forward. Parker couldn't mark. From 26 points down, midway through the second quarter, the Tigers win by 33.
A fighting fury, we're from Tigerland. In any weather you will see us with a grin, risking head and shin. If we're behind it, never mind, we'll fight and win, for we're from Tigerland. We never weak until the final siren's gone. Like the tiger of old, we're strong and we're bold, for we're from Tiger, yellow and black, we're from Tigerland.
North Melbourne led by 19 at quarter time, 20 at the half, but then a complete turnaround by the Tigers. They led by 10 at three-quarter time after kicking 7 goals to 2 and ran out winners by 33 points. Baker kicked a couple for the Tigers, as did Coleman Jones. Shane Edwards got them going in that third quarter and kicked 2. They were very, very good at the end of the day, the Tigers, and they get back to ninth. They're half a game outside the 8 behind the Giants. And after half-time, Daisy, they were very impressive.
Yeah, they certainly were. They got their one wood back, which was their pressure. They were fantastic. This man, Jack Graham, he was fantastic. Have a listen, courtesy of Fox.
Things really clicked into gear.
Yeah, no, we knew it was going to open up in the second half. We're a fit football side, and to be honest, we haven't been playing our best footy this year, but tonight we're building on that brand and seeing what can go forward.
Damien was frustrated at half-time about the Kangaroos' uncontested mark game. What was the conversation at half-time at the main break?
Yeah, they were chipping it through us, and it's frustrating, but Dimmer gave us a red-hot crack and just said, take out the shorts and the game will be brought onto our terms, and that's what we did the second half.
Pressure lifted, the scoreboard started to float?
Yeah, definitely. Our pressure, that's what we base ourselves on, and getting the pressure around the ball and then exploiting them on the outside.
When you feel that second half, do you feel like your game's returning, the Tiger brand returning? Because it's been a little bit clunky over the last 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah, definitely. The belief's still there. We know when we play our best footy, we can challenge anyone. So it's just about bringing that each week. So let's see how we can go.
Debutant looked like he had a bit of fun out there today.
Yeah, Morris, he's deserved the opportunity, and see him, those chase down tackles, just getting a fingertip, that's all we asked for him. And he had a great night, snagged a goal, and could have had another one, but he kicked it out in the full.
Great work today, Jack. You actually showed the way in that second half, set the standard. Well done.
Too easy. Thanks, guys. Cheers.
Jack Graham down there with David King. Thanks to Fox Footy. This is the Triple M review. McDonald's Ream Hot Water. The Mac family has arrived at Macca's. Get a free limited edition glass with every medium or large Mac family meal. Ethan, numbers for that man, Jack Graham.
Jack Graham, 36 disposals in the end, which is a career high for him. 8 tackles, 10 score involvements, 39 pressure acts as well. That's 15 more than any other player on the ground.
Head down to the boundary again. Dion Presti is down there with the same man, David King from Fox.
Strong.
Yeah, it was, the North Melbourne were awesome in the first half. We, didn't really have any answers for them. So the way we came out in the second half, I think probably our pressure and the way we were able to move the ball probably set us up to defend them a bit better, which was probably what we had to work on at half-time. So it was good to get the result and stay alive.
You enjoyed that goal. You enjoyed bursting from centre bounce and doubling up.
Yeah, well, it was the first goal for the year, so probably had to kick one soon. So that's the strength of my game. I feel like getting contest to contest. So something I try to pride myself on, and it's good to kick a goal now and then.
Getting some feedback from the boys here, but it's great to see you out here and in good form. You've had a frustrating run with injury. Yeah, it's been a bit annoying, doing the hamstring a couple of times, but I changed a few things probably over the last 2 months in terms of gym work and my probably training, just trying to get out there more consistently, and the last 2 weeks have been really good, so hopefully have about 6 weeks to go. You better get there, mate. They're going crazy out here. Good luck. Well done.
Cheers.
He was good today. Dion Presti at 29 disposals. Triple M Red Z Lending stats. Sarah Ollie's back up from the boundary for Bob Jane Team March. Just give us a wrap of everything that happened down there today and the big news from the MRO.
Yeah, just defrosting at the moment. It was really cold down there. I think maybe the lack of crowd body heat. I don't know. Anyway, I digress.
And being winter is probably...
Yes, that also contributes. But yeah, it was a bit of a weird day. We had the emergency umpire come on because Hayden Gavin, he copped a hit to the back of the neck. So we had the emergency umpire on, Michael Pell. In the end, neither medical sub was activated for either team. So Jason Castagna and Will Phillips, they will both, I guess, get out here soon and have a bit of a run around. But the big news dropping from the MRO is that Toby Green has been given a 2-match ban for striking Patrick Dangerfield. It was classified as careless conduct, high impact, high contact. So big news. And the Giants getting on the front foot pretty much straight away, Brownie. They're going to challenge the decision.
Do you reckon they challenge careless to accidental? Does that change anything in the structure?
Yeah, potentially. Look, I'd lean on an incident from the grand final because Patrick Dangerfield did something really similar to Nick Vlauston. I don't even think that was cited.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't cited. And he was concussed, Nick Vlauston, so that's a pretty serious injury as well.
Yeah, they need him to play finals. They've already got a lot of players out, and Toby Green going up against the Tigers next week. They'd love to have him out there. Triple M Amy review. Amy, who covers clangers? Amy does. Lucky you're with Amy. Surely this is the Hev. No, we haven't got none? No, just... Well,
That's only a halftime thing, Brownie.
Well, it says here, Amy, who covers clangers, Amy does. Lucky you're with Amy. And normally I would have thought that we throw to a clanger, but we haven't got one, have we?
Absolute Radiograph 101 just going on here in the Triple M.
It's here to the end of the night.
Oh, dear.
It's what happens at half-time, Daisy.
Yeah, no, that's not your fault. I'm not having a go at you by any stretch.
Absolutely not my fault.
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
We'll get that very clear. And
Triple M Red Zed Lending stats. Ethan Meltram, he's done a great job all day. Let's head to him and find out where all the stats, because there's no Amy Clanger, obviously.
No, I'll help you dig your way out of this one, Brownie. It's all right. Tigers in that second half, 53 more disposals. They had 231 touches in that second half, 38 more marks, 10 more tackles. Their pressure factor for that second half, 197. The AFL average there is 180. North Melbourne went at 163 on the other hand. 21 shots on goal to 5 in that second half as well. And the 13 goals as well. Leading players on the ground, there are a lot of career highs today. Firstly, for North Melbourne, Luke Davies-Uniacke, 38 disposals in the end. That's 10 more than his previous career high of 28. Aaron Hall worked his way up to 37, 790 metres gained. Jai Simpkin, 34 touches as well, 12 of those contested. For Richmond, Jack Graham, 36 disposals, 39 pressure acts, the 8th most recorded in a game this season, 10 score involvements as well. Nick Vlosten, his 30 disposals is a career high, 5 intercept marks as well. And Dion Prestia, 29 touches and a goal.
And just updating the live ladder, considering the Giants and the Tigers both won.
Yeah, it puts Richmond up to 9th spot on the AFL ladder, half a game behind GWS, who sit in 8th, and North Melbourne down in 18th, a game and percentage behind Hawthorn.
So, Daisy, having a look at the bottom half of the ladder, you'd think that Brisbane and West Coast possibly should make it. West Coast are a little bit dubious at the moment. They've got a big game coming up against the Demons. But if Richmond, Fremantle or GWS make it, who is likely to do some damage come September?
Well, GWS have shown last night that their best is certainly good enough, and that was with a host of players out too. I think it was about 8 changes they had to make going into that game. Josh Callier laid out. So with the season that is, it's sort of that any given Sunday mould that the AFL was so keen to see. The bottom half of the draw is really, really even. Of the 6 sides you could probably put a blanket over, probably any one of them could have a go. They could win on any given day. I think Sydney are the clear 5th best side at the competition, and Port Adelaide, well, they're the clear 4th best side, and then I think it's almost daylight to those top 3 as it is at the moment. So I think the bottom half of the draw is somewhat making up the numbers, and the top sides are going to clearly be too strong and too good come finals time.
It's a good movie any given Sunday as well. Choice Hotels around the grounds. Got a couple of good games coming up. The showdown, Adelaide up against Port Adelaide. They're undermanned at the moment, Adelaide. I'm not sure where they get their goals from, but then St Kilda and also Sydney tonight.
Yeah, the showdown's going to be an interesting one. Adelaide 3-4 to start the year. Only won 3 of 15 since that. And then, of course, the showdowns. Well, the last 3 showdowns have been won by Port Adelaide by an average margin of 60 or more points. Ooh. So they're certainly up against it, Adelaide's, and we know that the showdowns, well, they're usually fiery affairs, so hopefully we see a little bit of that.
And still with the Choice Hotels around the grounds. I've got West Coast and Melbourne on Monday night, Sarah. Teams are out for those sides.
Yeah, and Adam Simpson has swung the axe. Out go Rotham, Langdon, Waterman and O'Neill. In come Vardy, Witherden and Nelson. As for Melbourne, Jake Melksham is in. Jack Viney obviously out with that suspension. And Tom McDonald, he's still in, but he's got that back spasm issue, so they're going to monitor him up until Monday.
Nice. That's West Coast up against Melbourne for Choice Hotels around the grounds. Just on this game, North Melbourne were outstanding in the first half, Daisy. They couldn't have played a better half of football, bar missing some opportunities to put themselves further in front. So, as a coach, David Noble, what do you say to them? I mean, they were very good, but then they were really poor in the second half. Almost has to be building their confidence up as much as he possibly can.
Yeah, absolutely. Glass half full, I think it'd be. Probably the discussion will be around what can we do if we don't get things on our terms, which is the issue. When they had it all going their own way, they looked like they were a class above what the Tigers were able to do. As we heard Dion Prestia say then, we weren't able to stop what they were trying to do, which is a pleasing thing. But you need to understand that isn't going to happen, or very rarely will that happen for the full 4 quarters of a footy game. So you need to go back to plan B, plan C, and understand at some point that Richmond pressure was going to come. They were going to take away the corridor. They were going to get their own game going. So you might not have to force it. You might have to look at another mode of moving the ball from defence, getting some numbers over one side, outnumbering, and just sort of locking it down. But I think he would have been pleased with what he saw for the most part. Errant kicking, the game could have almost been over at half time.
For both of you, having watched them today, they're going to keep drafting. They've said that already, that they might try and land a Josh Kelly type, but other than that, they'll keep drafting. What sort of players should they be looking for at this year's draft?
Well, you can never have enough midfielders. I think they've got some really good young talented midfielders. Maybe they need a little bit more pace in there. Davies Uniacke isn't fast, but he can break away from a stoppage. Simpkin has got some nice movement lateral. Cunnington's not fast. Taron Thomas isn't fast, but they've got some nice players in there. They'd love some pace and some really good skill. I thought their skill level in the first half was really good. Maybe they need another tall defender. When they've had to play Bonner at times on bigger players. Jordan Nagau's not a bigger player, but at Rewalt he had to go to at one point today. Tarrant can't play forever. Mm-hmm. Josh Walker's done a pretty good job, but they could do with another tall marking defender, I would have thought.
What about at the other end of the ground, Dave? So they need another key forward to help Nick Larkey?
Well, I think the simple answer is that they need to get some depth all over the ground, and that the ability to do that then puts pressure on players for spots. So you need to perform week in, week out, and that's where you get the consistency of the group effort, because as we all know, it's not so much what your top end talent is doing, it's that bottom 5 or 6 players and the output that they can have on a game, which is when the game gets in the balance is often where it's decided. So if they can top up in all areas, it then becomes selection pressure, the value of playing becomes a lot greater, and you don't have those larger inconsistencies of effort.
Look towards tomorrow's game. One that I found really hard to tip was Hawthorn up against Collingwood. This is a 50-50 ball game.
Yeah, it's going to be a really interesting one. I think a little bit like North Melbourne, the Pies are just humming through the corridor at every opportunity they get, and I think that'll almost play into Hawthorn's hands, their ability to play that sort of bubble inside the 35-metre area of the ground and try and cause some turnovers means they'll get some really good looks going the other way. They were fantastic last week, Hawthorn, against the Brisbane Lions, and the Pies, well, they were really impressive as well against West Coast. So two teams that are down the bottom but found themselves in some form and starting to play a different mould, a different way. Obviously, the Pies under Robert Harvey, and now we know that the Hawks, they're responding after what's been a tumultuous couple of weeks down there.
Triple M MVP award for Mongrel Boots. Mongrel Boots, comfy boots built long for lasting days on site. Triple M MVP leaderboard after round 20, and it's a bit different to my Brownies Brownlow tracker. Ollie Wines on 30, Sam Walsh 27, Clayton Oliver 25 with Bonton Pally, Jack Steele 21, Darcy Parish 19. Who got the votes today?
You've got a fair bit of time on your hands, don't you? Brownies Brownlow tracker and Redhead team of the century. It'll be interesting what you come with next week. Look, I'm going to give one vote to Aaron Hall. I thought when North Melbourne were up and humming, he was fantastic. 37 disposals, went at 73% by foot, 790 metres gained, and he had a handful of inside 50s to go with that. So he was really dynamic off that half-back line when they were go across the page. Nick Vlosten, he was fantastic. 30 disposals, career high, 85% efficiency. Excuse me, I just had a stroke as well, like Jack did.
It can happen.
Hippopotamus.
At any stage.
And we'll just go
to
a few. The third 3 votes goes to Jack Graham. Fantastic. 36 disposals. He was the link. He was the one that got them going. And on the back of turnovers, his ability to cover the ground was fantastic. Best player on the ground. So 3 votes Graham, 2 votes Vlosten, 1 vote Hall.
I know that Leroy was very quick on the button to play my butchering of the review only a couple of weeks ago. But out to the end of the arts. Yeah, I thought he was probably 2 seconds late on that one. I thought that was going to be good. But it's a Saturday night, Daisy. Normally, back in your day, you would have been going out with Dids and Shorey and, all these guys. What do you do on a Saturday night these days?
I'll be straight home. I've got the little kitten at home. I've got Tilly there as well, so it'll be a bedtime story. Hopefully the cat doesn't do zoomies around the house like I did this morning at 3 a.m. and might nestle into a glass of red and listen to the boys call the song.
That's Daisy Thomas, Jack Heveron's with us, Ethan Meldrum and also Sarah Ollie. Thanks to everyone listening to us at MCG. The Tigers won comfortably by 33 points for McDonald's Rim Hot Water, Triple M Rocks Footy.
Haven't had the opportunity to go full bunter.